How I turn. Okay, I'm doing a cigar burning for Santisima. It's late. I wanted to go over a couple of things for clients. Um, for those of you, I'm so behind on reading still, and I've been saying this for a year, and I'll tell you why. It's impossible for me to keep these readings within time. Times where I've had to get off the phone. We're talking about an hour and a half in because I had to do a spell or I had an appointment or whatever the case may be, or even my phone died. And some people will still message me talking about, can we finish the reading? Like, what? I read you for fucking nearly 2 hours. That's not counting chit chat time. I know exactly how much is chit chat and how much is reading or in conversating about your situation, your work, your man, your coaching, your woman, whatever you're advising you is part of the reading and consultation. I have to make that clear. I mean, I'm not, yeah, you guys are cool, but I'm not that like invested in your love lives other than for the fact that I'm paid to do so. So that's your conversation about your situation, your relationship counts as part of the reading. Let's just make that clear. Hey, Mr. Conjure. Hi, baby. I have to get a hold of you. I'm like so behind. I know exactly who I owe readings to. Bear with me. You guys were all told what to do. I hope they appreciate. Most of them do. Most of them do, but some people are extremely like, I don't know if it just they don't understand or it goes over their head. But when, how could you? If I was on a reading with you for 2 hours, and then I had to go, like, to message me and say, "Can we finish our reading?" That's a little bit like, what? What do you mean? Like, how much of, okay, anyway, regardless, when readings are taking double and triple the time, this is causing me a problem. I am never going to catch up at this rate because I still have work and other things that need to be done. It's like I'm better off just refunding them all. And I've offered, trust me. And, you know, I'm better off doing that, to be honest, at this point. But frankly, you guys all know who you are. The ones that take 2-3 hours every time. I mean, I should be really billing you for that extra time, if anything. But I'm still giving you your reading. So don't blow up Gabby's email. Okay. That being said, 2 hours is nothing, baby girl. 2 hours is a good reading. There's I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. I just don't. 2 hours is actually like I can handle 2 hours. There's 3 hours, 4 hours. It's been like abnormally just no matter what I say or do, other than just hanging up on people, I don't know what else to do. I really don't. I really don't. I'm one person and I have a schedule and I have a sick dog that I have to take to a vet periodically to check on his heart. Okay. Sometimes, you know, I panic if there's like a situation, I rush him to the emergency vet. But like Gabby was not supposed to book me for any more readings since last year, and she did under the agreement that you guys would bear with me. You're welcome, Habibti. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, my love. You did not have to do that. Thank you, babe. Okay, enough about that. You guys, you've been hearing me say this. I can't. Like, I've never been behind for this long. Ever. Ever. Okay. Now, here's another thing. So I'm going to make this educational as well as ranty. So I'm doing a cigar offering for Santisma. Rocco is in a different room. I had to take him out of the room. If you have animals, particularly cats or dogs, it's not good for animals or kids, obviously. But we want to try. She likes cigars, cigarillos, or cigarettes. But I can't handle the smell of cigarette, the taste of cigarettes ever since I've been vaping. So you're gonna light it like so, and you're basically going to blow it on her. Now, if any of you are familiar with blowing shotguns, which I'm sure you guys all are at one point or another, you're gonna be very careful, don't burn your mouth, and go like this and blow. Okay. That way, if you don't want to inhale it into your lungs, you can just do it that way. But you're gonna have to get it started by sucking in. Now, I want to get for my clients. We just entered the Lunar New Year. Okay, you guys will know this. Normally, I do a Lunar New Year ritual as well, in addition to my New Year's rituals, my regular New Year's rituals. Oh, I did post the short of the prosperity success one. And I also posted this short. I'm done. I burned myself. I also posted a sneak peek of the attraction one. I'm gonna post the long form one of the prosperity one, and then I'm gonna give it a few days, and I'm gonna post the long form of the love and beauty attraction one. Oh, it's so beautiful. Like I was like, ugh, too bad. Like if you look closely at the shorts, like I did it kind of quick. You could see the mirrors. Each person got like this was for the I only show the offering portion of the ritual and the candle portion, but there was a Taoist under the table and it's hidden so you guys can't see it. I even couldn't put myself in the money one because I wrote the Taoist, so I can't be a part of that. So I had to do a separate little one for myself on the side. But each for the it was gorgeous. For the money one, I don't know if you guys noticed the horseshoes and the whole like all the gold coins and everything. And then I got like a special candle holder for the middle of it. Kind of looks like a Hanukkah one, but it was beautiful. And then for the beauty and attraction one, I made the picture for the ritual, the AI picture I made like for when I posted it on my website. I already had envisioned what I was gonna do. So I made it pretty damn close to what I actually did. So you could see I had vases of water, more than usually like when I do that part of the ritual, I have one vase of water. Well, for the beauty one, because with beauty rituals, you use water and you put, the catnip and so on in the water. And you put a mirror, especially when you're doing it for someone else or for yourself, but you use a mirror to kind of represent your reflection and like the beauty and attraction. Mirrors represent reflection and, you're looking at yourself and all that. So like I'm a bad bitch, you guys. I'm like so like chef's kiss. So if you look closely, I put each one of you got a vase with the water and my secret mix. And I got rose floating candles and put them in each, and I dressed it and everything. And then I took the candles that I wrote, carved your petition on, and the helper candles, and I put around the vase. So each one of you got a vase, and then the petition underneath, the written one, and then on the candle carved, and then the two helper candles. And then for the road opener one, I'm gonna surprise you with that one, but that one's cool as fuck. Like I'm so brilliant. So I didn't post a sneak peek of that one yet. So I'm gonna post a sneak peek of that one first, and then so I'm gonna post the money long form, the beauty long form, and then the sneak peek of the road opener, and then the road opener long form. That's the order. I wanted to give it a little time before I post the whole video, just because I feel just is better like that. But you guys are gonna be like, damn, this bitch is a genius. But that's also like a double-edged sword because if you haven't seen the short sneak peek of them, they're in my shorts. So just go on my channel, click on shorts, and you'll see the sneak peek of the prosperity one, like the success one, and the sneak peek of the beauty and attraction one. The only sneak peek I didn't post yet is the road opener. That one, like, I don't know how I come up with these ideas. I'm a genius. That's perfect. I am a genius. I mean, the shit that I come up with, I mean, it's such a double edged sword because, like, people copy my shit and it's so fucking frustrating. It's like the spirits give me these ideas and, like, this, and people have said, oh, they all look the same. Like, bitch, it's because I'm posting just the offering portion of it. You're talking about one day out of 4 days, 7 days, 3 days, whatever I do, but everyone's different. But you're talking about one portion of the ritual. Of course, I'm not going to show everything I do. But yeah, they're all different though. I've never done two rituals that are exactly the same. The only thing that's the same is that they have candles and offerings on it, but it's always like different. Like the money one, I had real horseshoes, like real horseshoes that were used, and they're like hella old, different like the 1800s. You could even see like they're rusty, but they're good luck. And horseshoes are the best luck when they've been worn, when they've been used. A lot of people don't know that. And then I had like this horseshoe with the evil eye in it and coins that I got at a Botanica in Vegas. I had two of those and I had a khamsa in it. So it was like perfect. And then I had the coin. It had a khamsa and I had a bunch of coins. So like you'll see like the smaller, like it's like a fake horseshoe, but still the symbolism. And then, but you got I got 3 real horseshoes. And then I gave them like real silver and gold coins. And I put magnetic sand, and it was beautiful. It was awesome. The Taoiz was like, it took me forever to write into the wood. So I had to write it pretty much under the table so you guys can see. But anyway, there was one jinn group ritual that I did that I didn't cover the Taoiz, but I didn't have to technically. But I kind of regret not covering it. You couldn't, like, even if you screenshotted it and you zoomed into it, you you'd have to really like, there's no way. I don't think anybody could copy it because with Arabic, if you put one little nukta wrong, one little loop wrong, you're fucking up the whole word. Thank you, Trevor. Shireen made this. May this shit's making a hard time for me to breathe. May you please pray for my special dog. His name is Buddy. He has to stay overnight at a veterinary. Oh no, of course. Jinnah Salim. Jinnah Salim. Yes. Can you tell me his name, Habibi? Buddy, you said? Buddy. Can you text me a picture of Buddy? Message me a picture of Buddy on my website, on the contact form. I'm so sorry, Habibi. Don't say that. Think, how old is Buddy? Hold on, I can't see. Somebody answer, because I don't see. I have to do the he's 6. He's a baby. Why is it, he's young. So there's a good, what do you know what's wrong with them? I can't. In case if I don't see it, you guys, because I can only see the top comments. I don't know where the chat filter is. They said seizure. Okay. Was he seizing for a long time? Does he always get seizures? Because if it's just a seizure and he wasn't seizing for a long period of time, there's a good chance that he'll be fine. 6, he's still a baby. Hold on, let me see it in the chat off filter. I can't see all the messages. Nope. Not happened today, but he wasn't seizing for like a long period of time by himself. So you caught it right away, basically. Hey Val Habibti. It's 1:40 a.m. here. Otherwise I'd be calling clients, but it's freaking inappropriate to call people at this hour. Okay. So no, you caught it right away. Okay, so that's good. Alhamdulillah. Wait, nope. You didn't catch it right away, or he was I'm confused. Well, anyway, my point is if he wasn't see when I had 2 chihuahuas, this was years ago, and one of them was seizing. You caught it on time. Alhamdulillah. Okay. One of them seized. I was at work, and by the time I came home, this was in Florida. This was back in 2014. By the time I came home, he had been seizing for God knows how long, and so they couldn't do anything for him. That was devastating. He had never had seizures before, but that was terrible. That's so scary. That's why, like, I'm so glad now there's cameras. Back then, we didn't have cameras like that. I wouldn't have even, like, thought something like that. But anyway, those years are tough. But anyway, you caught it in time. Send me a picture of him. I will, of course, light a candle for him. It's funny, I just gave Jinn Salim, وكل الجن اللي بحبوا الكلاب, the jinn that love the dogs, some offerings for Rocco. So I will add Buddy to that. My hair's frizzy mess. I just washed it. So this is my natural hair, y'all. So don't get fooled by that straight shit. That ain't natural. This is my natural hair. This frizzy ass mop. Okay, so it's okay. You didn't mess up. I don't give a fuck if somebody doesn't like it. Too bad. So you didn't mess up anything. That's what live is. Live is connecting with your audience. So people don't like it. It's fine. Now, okay, so like I said, you can light this for Santa or any spirit that likes cigars. A lot of deities like cigars. Some people read them. I personally don't. But I know there is like certain meanings. Like, so for example, you could also curse somebody with a cigar. So I have a video on how to do that, but this is an offering cigar. If you want to curse somebody with a cigar, you write their name on it in black. And as you do it, you curse them out. Okay, but you don't breathe it into your lungs. Hey, Bridge. Hey, Habibti. If you're cursing somebody with a cigar, right? And somebody once said, "Oh, you're breathing in a curse. Like, shut the fuck up. I eat curses like Cheerios. Why the fuck not? But if you're not experienced, don't do it. But when you curse somebody with a cigar, don't inhale it into your lungs. You just put it in your mouth and blow it out. And as you do it, you just say, like, you know, for example, let me think of somebody I can't stand. We'll call him John Haddad also, though. May he fucking reap what he sows. May all his dirty deeds come to light. May all of his lies come to light. May everybody see him for what he really is, etc., etc. And you keep puff it. Now, at the same time, you could also do it for love, all right? And with that, you would put cinnamon at the tip and you'd write their name in red or blue and their date of birth. And you would have cinnamon and sugar, like cinnamon and sugar, and then you would suck it in. And then you would say, like, then blow on the smoke on sta negra. Exactly, exactly. But, or you do it without any deity. It's the intention you're putting out there. You could do it with the cigarette. I actually have a video on that. Just look up Arabian conjure cigarette curse or cigarette spell. I thought that was that's weird. The TV just turned on by itself. Anyhow, I swear to God, there's no animals or anything that are in the vicinity. The remote is on the end table. So I don't know how that happened, but it's been doing that lately. Oh, spirit. Anyway, what time is it? Almost 2. It makes sense. Okay. So I want you guys to learn a few features for those of you who watch my lives. There is an AI feature. Okay. It looks like a little diamond. And you can literally click it and it'll summarize the video and it'll have timestamps, everything I talked about. And you can hit that button, hit summarize video, and it'll break down the whole live and give you timestamps of when I was talking about what and all of that. It's a great feature. The other thing I want you to learn how to use is the setting where you could speed up my voice. Now, I know this sounds like common sense shit because if I know how to do it, anybody should know how to do it because I don't really know how to do much with this technology shit. Hence why I go live a lot. But sometimes I talk slow, sometimes whatever. So you can hit the settings and go to ×2 or 1.5 times and speed it up. 1.5 times speed. Exactly. 1.5 times speed, queen. Exactly. So that'll help speed it up. But the summarized video thing is new. It's like I said, it's in the options. It looks like a little AI thing, like a little diamond. And that's primo. So if you just want to see quickly what I'm talking about, you guys hear that? Then it's perfecto. Oh, you might not because I have my AirPod in. It drowns out the noise. Okay, so clients, I'm getting really, really tired of shit like this. Okay, it's really fucking rude, and disrespectful. Okay. What is considered a manifestation? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So I have a client that she's been a client. I've known her since I've been doing this, about going on a decade now. Okay, since 2017, so 9 years. She was one of my day ones, and I still love her. But she did something that very, very disappointed me, upset me. And if she was anybody else, it would be on and popping. Do you get? I gotta take this out so you could hear this shit. Are you guys here? You guys hear this shit? Can you hear my TV just turning on and saying shit? Anyway, so I've done a lot of stuff, okay, and for her, and everything's always worked, okay. She got herself into some legal trouble a couple years back. Her family member hit me up with no questions asked. Of course, I did my thing. I didn't ask for any money. Did my thing, got her out. Unheard of, okay? Especially being where she's from, Florida. It's unheard of. And I don't like throwing shit in people's faces that I do for them. I really don't like to do that. I even hate people that do that. But sometimes you have to remind people who the fuck you are and how dare you, right? So I took her case really at half the price that I normally would take a case like this, and definitely not a full set charge. And it was for reconciliation, domination reconciliation, okay? Because she's a day one, I charged her a lot less than what I normally do. So reconciliation, what constitutes, hi Dancer, welcome babe. What constitutes a manifestation when you are doing a reconciliation? So I'll tell you, if you don't consider yourself manifested and I tell you no contact, if you don't consider, if he's not coming back to be with you, then there should be no more conversation. In this particular case, I had spoke to her. I had told her, I'm going to get this guy to contact you within 48 hours. They hadn't spoke for 2 months. Sometimes I could just feel that. I rarely will give an exact time frame, but in this case, I was like, I bet 48 hours I'll have him contact you. Within 48 hours, sure hell enough, he contacted her. Okay. So they started talking off slow, whatever, and then boom, they start hanging out, start sleeping together. He's taking her on trips, going to resorts with his work, introducing her as his girlfriend, good mornings in the morning, spoiling her, did a big to-do on her birthday. Mind you, none of this was told to me until things went left. Now, keep in mind, I took this case last year, like in September, somewhere in the summertime, August, September, somewhere around there. Oh, maybe July, somewhere between July and September. So right away, he contacted her. Right away, they just got back into the swing of things. Went on resort trips. Like I said, he, for her birthday, bought her a bunch of stuff, decorated a hotel room, made it like, balloons and made a whole, I mean, to me, that's a reconciliation. I don't give a fuck, okay? That's a reconciliation. You were hanging out all the time, sleeping together. Mind you, they're semi-long distance, like an hour away. So picking you up all the time, going places together, going on trips, introducing you to his fucking coworkers, his boss, as his girl, introducing you to his son, having you around his son, this, that, and the third. Okay. Mind you, I don't get none of this news, not until it goes left, okay? That is manifestation. So she's messaging Gabby, and mind you, I had just did a reading for her a few weeks prior. Okay, she was one of the ones I had to reschedule and stuff, and I got to and she drove me hella crazy. I'm like, girl, you could I could refund you, like, if that's what if you want. She's like, no, no, no. Okay, well, you guys, Gabby wasn't even supposed to book you guys. You guys know what the deal is. Don't don't do me like that. Like, if you want your refund, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, I mean, I'm one person. I can only do so much, and my schedule got fucked, and Gabby never gave me a really good chance to catch up, because every time I would get caught up, she'd fucking add more people to the goddamn list. And every single person is people I've known for the most part. There's maybe a handful that are new, because I'm not, the new people mainly do mini consults, but even my mini consults, it was throwing me off because people were taking too long on those. So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Anyway, so I was like, readings and consults were absolutely just drowning me, because they were taking way, way, way too long. But regardless, so I offered her a refund. She didn't take it. She was like, I'm sorry, don't be mad at me, blah, blah, blah. We did the reading, and I warned her about her temper, and everything was good at that time, but she didn't get into details about how good they were. There were still complaints coming from her. Oh, I would like him to be more consistent. Oh, I want him to have the conversation. I want him to ask me to be his girlfriend. I'm like, asked you to be his girlfriend. So if you don't consider yourself together, why are you sleeping with him? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, if that's the case, you shouldn't be doing none of that. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say on the one hand, you don't consider yourself manifested, but on the other hand, you're sleeping with him, going out on dates with him, going on trips with him, doing all this, that, and the third. Because if you're not, there's not supposed to be any of this contact shit going on. So you can't have it both ways. So she still didn't get into detail about how good it actually was until a few weeks later when it went left. And I told her in the reading, I was like, don't, watch your temper, because I see things going left if you don't watch your temper. Mind you, she never got a binding at this point. My job was done. Once you're back together, once you're doing all that extra shit, my job is done. And that's what a lot of people, maybe she was trying to get a free I always give boosters, girl. That's the thing. And that's why people are so fucking, like, some people are stingy as fuck, and they don't want to tell me when they manifest, because they think then that's it. Like, she's going to stop working on me. Well, as I should. I mean, you don't own me for fucking any price, okay? And I'm not even charging that much for, like, it's amazing to me how some people, it's crazy. You got people charging tens of thousands of dollars to people for spells that they throw together in 10 minutes, if they even do it at all, okay? Charging fucking crazy fucking prices, which, whatever. And because of their attitudes and their lack of giving any fucks, you fear them, and people don't say shit and whatever. But when people are nice and literally stretch themselves so fucking thin to please everybody, because that's all I've known for a decade almost, is that I have to be like fucking hand and foot fucking appeasing you guys, and having Gabby have to appease you and not only do the work but sit there and coddle you and all this. That's all I've known for 9 years, that I've spread myself so fucking thin, and I've aged so much, okay? Because I can't go to the gym. I can't do the things I like to do because I'm always working. I'm always busy, which is fine. I'm grateful. But it's like, at the same time, appreciate what the fuck I do. I don't have to fucking do all this extra shit. That's not part of my fucking job description or my responsibility. But I do it anyway. I don't have to sit there and fucking navigate you through every fucking communication. Gabby doesn't have to do that. My job is to do the spell work, what I got paid for. I don't have to do boosters for free. I don't have to do none of that for free. I don't have to redo work when you fuck it up. But I do it anyway. As long as people are honest with me and don't try to bullshit me and lack taking accountability, then when people lie to me, then I know you're lying and I'm not going to say shit. What I'm going to do though is basically just cut your fucking work off and have Gabby tell you after like whenever I feel like it that, oh, yeah, by the way, remember when you lied and said XYZ? Well, yeah, Shireen's not working on your case anymore. If you might want to go ahead and get yourself another practitioner. Why lie to me? Because they think by lying that'll just keep me working, and like if they fuck up, they can not take the accountability. Like when I specifically say no contact, yet you not only contact, but incessantly contact. And not only that, you, like some people have even gone so far as to blackmail and harass and do all sorts of crazy shit. When I told them simply no contact, and what do? Not what I told them to do. But when people take accountability, I'll help them out 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. But at a certain point, I start to feel taken advantage of. Like if I tell you not to do something, it's not just to be bossy. It's for a fucking reason that has to do with your work. It's for your work to manifest. Period. Don't do it. If I tell you to do something and you don't do it, I mean, what, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. People think that magic, oh, I'm just going to let the witch do the work and not follow any of her rules, and, you know, whatever, blame her when it doesn't fucking work. Like, the fuck? So anyway, so she doesn't tell me any of this shit. You know, he did all this and that for her birthday. None of it. Okay. It wasn't until a couple weeks later, he went 1 day without contacting her. 1 fucking day. Meanwhile, I'm going to put my hair up. Meanwhile, she could have contacted him at this point. At this point, y'all are together. Okay. So there's no reason that he has to make every single communication. Okay, when you're still in the courting phase or you're still in the breakup phase and and you're in the no contact phase, okay. But at this point, you're back together. So there's no reason why if you want to talk to him, you can't make the effort and reach out to him occasionally. There's nothing wrong with that. But of course, she wanted all the work to come from him. And that's, you have to have a happy medium. Now, it's funny, people want to, when I tell them no contact, they don't want to listen. But then when it's time to be, when it's appropriate to contact, I'm not saying don't ever be like a clingy fucking, hounder, stalker, fucking blowing up somebody's phone. Never do that. But if he usually texts you, good morning, beautiful, good night, beautiful, calls you, how's your day, beautiful, and he's always making that effort. And then you go 1 day and you don't hear from him. It's okay for you to pick up the phone and check on him. I mean, that's a relationship. It doesn't always have to come from him when you guys are in a relationship, which is what the fuck you were in based on what I found out. So instead of just picking up the phone, I love you, Arabian Conjure. Can't wait to get work done with you. Soon for courage, confidence, and open roads, hopefully, for healing against abuse. Aw, Habibti. I love you back. But don't not believe in yourself. Try to do it yourself before you go to anybody else. I always tell people, try to do, I mean, if it's not dark work, if you're not experienced with dark work, stay away from it until you start little things like freezer spell, stuff like that. But if stuff like what you're talking about, try yourself. And if you can't, I'm happy to help you. But I like for people to empower themselves. And if you can't, I'm there for you. Anyway, so instead of her being the mature adult and just reaching out to him, maybe thinking, if it were me, a caring, loving partner would think, is he okay? Like, I hope he's okay. Like, I hope nothing happened to him. I hope he's safe. I hope, there wasn't an accident or something like that. That's where my mind would go, okay? Because I'm a warrior. I always like, sometimes it's bad. Like, my mind will go to the worst. And that's my programming. Okay, that's why, like, when my phone goes off, my stomach drops, because in my mind, I've associated the phone ringing or a message to being something bad. Someone needs something from me. Someone expects something from me. Someone's gonna dump something on me. And a lot of times it's good things, but it's like, my mind goes to somebody wants me to do something for them. Not like as in for my job that I get paid for, but like just take from me, dump on me, ask me for a favor, ask me for something, complain about something, never be satisfied about something. That's, I've been conditioned now to just constant non-appreciation, but not everybody. Most people are really good, and I need to acknowledge that. I have some really great people that are very thankful and very appreciative, and know I jump through hoops for them, and they love me for that. But them little select few that are fucking so entitled and just it's like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, I could fucking... Do you know what I could fucking do to you if I wanted to? Like, don't take my kindness for weakness. Don't ever take my kindness for fucking weakness, okay? Just because I love you and I care about you and I fuck with you, I could be a caring practitioner, but I demand respect. Don't ever disrespect me or think you're gonna talk any type of way to me. Don't forget who the fuck you're talking to, okay? Anyway, I think sometimes people forget who the fuck I am. Like, y'all don't even know. All right. And it don't take nothing for me to do something for me. Some and it manifests so literally, it's like unbelievable. Okay. Just look at my last thumbnail. Blow it up. Blow it up. Read the candle. And I put it in English on purpose. What happened a few days later? Exactly what I fucking wrote. So don't fucking play with me, okay? Anyway, put respect on my name. Damn right, thank you. So anyway, so she messages Gabby after mind you, I had just did a reading with her a few weeks prior. And Gabby's like, you need to schedule something. She is so behind on her readings and consults. Like, I'm not even supposed to schedule anything. The phone calls take entirely too much time. So I'll do it for you, but you're going to have to schedule it. Like, I can't just tell her to call you whenever you feel like it. There's people waiting that's been waiting for her. Okay? Granted, 99% of these people, 95% of these people, aside from the mini consults that are new, are people that I've always given 2-3 hours or more. So it's like, yeah, you better be patient with me because I'm more than patient with y'all. Thank you, Habibti Loyalty Financial. Love you. I gotta call you, by the way, girl. I need your expertise. You know, it's that time of year. I need my taxes. Did Loyalty Financial, that's my girl. And I'm saving her for myself. I got to see what her schedule is looking like. But before I want to make sure she has time to do mine. But once I talk to her, the rest of you guys can book her if she has time for y'all. But for now, I come first. I need you, boo. I need you because it's that time of year and I need a new accountant. Not that my accountant was bad. It's just he takes really long and he's busy and stuff like that. Anyhow, so Gabby basically told her, look, she just talked to you, blah, blah, blah. So she messaged me, like I said, her and I have known each other for years. She has my number. So she's like, mind you, I didn't see this message. I swear to God, I didn't even see the message. I told you I keep my phone on silent because I get severe anxiety. And I don't want people, hey, Monica, my love, mwah. I don't want people to get into the habit of messaging me for business related shit. If you have my personal number, it's for personal. But I can't even have a personal phone because I have to keep that bitch on silent because I get severe anxiety every time I fucking hear it ring or get a message. Severe panic, like my stomach drops every time. So I have to work myself up to check my messages. So for business, I don't want people to be in the habit to message me for business. I want them to go through the proper channels because I pay an assistant for that. That's what I pay her for. Good money too. So utilize that. She helps me to be able to help you. She does the admin stuff, the layman physical world stuff, while I'm the only one that does the spiritual world stuff. So I need my energy to be good. I can't get stressed out. I can't get angry. I can't get none of that unless it's, waning moon time and I could use that energy. But it's not good for my mental health to be constantly on edge. Okay. So anyway, I didn't see the message, but I felt like, I swear to God, you can ask Gabby. I'll feel when I have to call somebody. And I will call them without an appointment. I'll just feel like something's going on and I need to speak to that person. Like spirit will poke me and they'll put that person in my head and they'll be like, call this person, call this person, call this person. Something's going on with this person. Call this person, call this person. And that's what happened. I swear to God, I swear on my mother's grave, on my dad's life, I did not see this message. Okay, I contacted her before I saw it. I contacted her. Gabby didn't even tell me because she didn't want me to get mad because she got an attitude. So I didn't even know, right? So I hit her up and I was like, it was like hella late too, but I didn't give a shit. I've known her for years, so I was like, oh well, it's 2:00 in the morning. If you don't answer, you don't answer. If I wake you up, oh well. It's like we've known each other like that. And I love her, like I said, but whatever. So I call her, it's like 2 a.m. I wake her ass up. I'm like, what's going on with you? And she's like, hey girl, like, whatever. And so we talk and she tells me shit went left and she said some shit to this man that was, we'll just put it like this, very, very nasty. Very, 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 very bad. Very, very bad. Very, very, like, horrible. And she brought the children into it, one child into it. And, I mean, never bring up a man's child, ever, 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 ever. So she said some hurtful shit, and he took it very bad, obviously. And I said, girl, why didn't you just contact him? If, he went one day. That's what I was saying. He went that day without reaching out to her, whatever. I was like, well, why didn't you just reach out to him? And she's like, well, I wanted him to reach out to me. I was like, but you said he's been reaching out to you every day. Yeah. Okay. So one day he doesn't reach out to you. I was like, you can't just reach out to him. Cigar gave me cotton mouth like a motherfucker. And she's like, when I wanted him to reach out to me, I was like, when you're in a relationship, it's okay to have an equal give and take. I think you're misunderstanding when I say no contact, not while you're in the relationship. And she's like, well, we weren't in the relationship. We didn't have the conversation. He didn't ask me to be his girlfriend. And I'm like we're in middle school? And she's like, well, yeah. I was like, well, wait a minute. So, because she's like, well, everything was going so good. You know, he took me to his work resort trip and he introduced me. I said, so how did he introduce you? I had to ask her, how did he introduce you? What did he say? This is my friend. This is my cousin. Like, what did he introduce you as? She goes, oh, he introduced me as his girl. Hey, Foxy, Tarot Oracle deck. He was testing her probably because he noticed he was always reaching out. Exactly, that's what I said. So I said, wait a minute. So you're telling me, mind you, he was a little bit insecure anyway, okay, because she's a lot more attractive than him, in my opinion. And she looks damn good. She looks damn good. The woman is older than me by 5 years. And she looks amazing. I mean, you guys know black don't crack. So she looks, mashallah, mashallah, amazing. So she's popping, and he's not ugly, but she just is more attractive. And you know, I feel like he's a little insecure about that. So, you know, so occasionally it's okay to like make him feel special, make him feel you know, attractive, make him feel loved, especially when you're in the relationship, which in her mind, hey la toxica, in her mind, yeah, men do test women too. Yes, absolutely. So, Butterfly, are you the tarot channel? Are you my girl with the tarot channel? I have a friend that has a tarot channel, but hi, Wendelise. Hey, baby. Where you been, girl? Butterfly. No, that's not you. Okay. She has a tarot temple. I can't, I know it's something butterfly. I can't remember it. I'm going to look through it, and I got to shout her out. Hey, Erica from Texas. I know exactly who you are. I miss and love you, boo. I hope we have to catch up, girl. It's so good to see you. We have to catch up, babe. I gotta hear the tea. Rice ball. I finished formatting my second book. Aw, girl, I gotta see that. I love you, sis. I fuck with you the long way. Do I do anything for court cases? Do I? Do I ever? Court cases are one of my favorite things to do. Absolutely. Why do you think? Let me just keep my mouth shut. I should be a convicted felon, unfortunately. I was what you would call a drug dealer, basically. And I was a little thug back in the day. And me and Justin got in our fair share of legal troubles. Well, mainly him, but because he wouldn't listen to me when I said somebody was a fucking narc and an uncover, and I could just sense the shit, and he didn't listen, got our house raided, and so that charge got completely dropped. And then I took a charge for my stupid fucking ass. Yeah, my spirits don't like that shit. I took a charge for people I shouldn't have, thinking that they had pills on them that I was prescribed, at the time, but as it turned out, they were the same pills, just at different milligrams. So I got charged with everything in the vehicle, which was mainly like controlled substances and paraphernalia. But yeah, that's a felony in Florida. And so I had to use what I had in jail to do spell work. Luckily, sihr is mainly writings anyway, so all I really needed was a pen and paper and a few chicken bones and spices, and that's all I needed. And luckily, I had access to that. And yeah, I did that from inside jail, and I got 3 years drug offender probation, and which is pretty unheard of, especially with this judge. And once I finished probation, the charge was dropped. So I'm not a convicted felon, luckily. And it's like it didn't happen. Like the charge was completely dropped off my record. So it was a blessing. Thank God in my spirits. But yeah, I used to rip and run, and you know, I was a bad girl when I was younger. But hey, at least I was like an honest drug dealer. But no, honestly, that was fucked up. But I didn't sell drugs to kids or anything like that. Or it was all, yeah. My spirits don't really like that shit. So I'm gonna stop talking about it. Yeah, not proud of that. Don't sell drugs. But I had to do what I had to do. At the time, I lost my mom. I was working 2 jobs. Still couldn't make ends meet. So I had to do what I had to do. But I don't recommend doing that. It, ruined my life. Could have anyway. So, but my point is I do court case work. You're an honest witch. I'm not going to lie about my past. I mean, that's my past. But, I mean, if a witch doesn't know how to get herself out of court trouble, how's she going to help you get out of court trouble? But I do like custody court. I'm not going to talk about this until it's fully finished, but I have this case. This woman worked with someone else who was getting nowhere, and it was actually getting worse. And he, after getting her for like so much money, he finally just sent her over to me. And mashallah, knock on wood, alhamdulillah. I'm not going to speak on it till it's fully finished, but wait till I tell you the story and how much progress I've made on this case. It's like amazing. It's in the bag. And I actually got a guy which I was really upset about this. I'm squirreling, but I got to tell you this. I worked on a case from 2019 to 2023. I told this woman that her son was on a joyride with a bunch of his friends, and apparently during which time they did a robbery and someone died. Now, he claimed that he didn't know what anybody was doing. He needed a ride home from work. He was just in the vehicle, which was true. And they said they were making a stop. Well, the stop was apparently to rob somebody else, and someone got killed. So her son went to prison and basically got life in prison, because in certain states, especially the state of Texas, actually most states, I'm pretty sure most states, if you are and someone dies, that you can get charged with their murder. So basically that's what happened. But he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, but he pretty much got railroaded. Of course, this is a black man in the South, so you know how that goes. Well, I told this woman that it was going to take, he was already sentenced. Keep in mind, he was already sentenced. Had I gotten the case before he got sentenced, it would have been so much easier. But the fact that I got it after he got sentenced, you have to be really fucking a miracle worker to get someone off. So I told her, I was like, it's a very difficult case and it could take years. But given his sentence, where'd I put my drink? Given his sentence, I mean, if it takes, 3-4 years, it's better than him doing life in prison. So this woman, I charged her for the whole case $2,200. Okay, I should have charged her way more. The Haitians would have charged her like more than her attorney, like 25,000. But anyway, I felt bad for her. Charged her 2,200. This lady drove me fucking crazy. So got her in 2019. 2022 comes around. I'm in Vegas for my 40th birthday, and she was emailing, but I guess something was wrong with her Outlook, and apparently she was getting like an error message, and it was saying, I don't know what it said, but for some reason she had it in her head that I blocked her. Mind you, this is in 2022. I've been working with her for 3 years at this point. Every court appearance, every meeting with his attorney, which was very rare because the motherfucker pretty much ripped them off, took their money and didn't do shit. But every little thing, I was working on the case. So this was year 3, okay? Never asked her for an additional fucking penny, okay? I'm away on my birthday. Something's wrong with her email, and some reason she got it in her head that I blocked her. Lady, if I blocked you, you wouldn't know. You'd just go to spam. That's not how blocking works, not on Gmail anyway. You would just go to spam and you'd never know the wiser. And Gabby's always answered your messages. You've never been ignored. So what the fuck? She had a whole conniption fit, right? So like Gabby reached out to me on my birthday and she's like, this lady's going, all of a sudden I got this slew of messages. She's going crazy. She messaged me from another email talking about we blocked her. And she's like, thank you. She goes, I hope you enjoy my money. Enjoy your money? $2,200, and I already been fucking working on this case for 3 years. Oh, I put her right in her place. I said, that's the last time you ever disrespect me like that. I was like, because if you think that I'm making shit off your case at this point, you got another thing coming. I said, and any other spiritualist would have charged you way more for this case. And they would have just kept tacking on the charges. They wouldn't have went 3 years without charging you an additional dime. So have a little decency, okay? And if I don't want to deal with the case anymore, all I'd have to do is say, ma'am, this is taking too much of my time, energy, materials, money, offerings, and energy. You either pay me more money or I'm just gonna have to, this is taking too much time. And I mean, I don't have to explain shit to you if that's what I want to do, but I'm not unprofessional. I wouldn't just block you, so I don't know. Anyway, I straightened her ass right up. So fast forward 2023. I was in this house, actually. How this man got up, you could tell it was divine intervention. So now I got him 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 4 years, okay? The lawyer she originally hired ripped her the fuck off because she paid him all up front. Never pay an attorney up front. Always pay a retainer and pay as you go along. You pay a retainer is usually 50%, sometimes less, depending on the overall amount, but never pay them up front the entire fee ever, especially with criminal, okay? Pay them a retainer and pay as you go. So if they're a shitty attorney, you could change counsel and they don't have all your money and say, fuck you. So she paid him all up front. It was like 20 G's. He basically took the money and was like, this lady, mind you, I'm working the fuck out of this case. I'm like, just help this lady find, look at these lights are just going on and off. Help this lady find divine intervention. Like, just help this poor man get out of prison. He was in the wrong. And I knew he was really in the right place. In the wrong place at the wrong time. Imagine you are leaving work and your friends offer you a ride home and you take the ride and they're like, I'm gonna make a stop somewhere, and you're like, okay, and you're in the car, and this stop, they go into an apartment building and fucking try to rob somebody, and then the guy put up a fight and they kill him and take off with you in the car. The fuck just happened? That that could happen to anybody. That's exactly what happened to this kid. Anyway, the problem was, though, he had gotten in trouble before. They might have just like believed, wrong place, wrong time, but he had gotten to trouble when he was younger. I don't remember if it was violent or not, but still, like Texas, they're. So anyway, she was out to lunch one day and she strikes up a conversation with this woman. Is it buffering? Is this buffering? This fucking Wi-Fi. Is it buffering bad? Hold on, let me turn off the Wi-Fi. Better? Is that better? Tell me what, okay. It's so fucking, I hate this Wi-Fi up here. I fucking hate it. Anyway, how long was I buffering? How long was I buffering? A long time? Did you guys hear like everything I was saying or no? Okay, perfect. Okay. So you heard the part where I said that he literally asked for a ride, where he was leaving work. His friends seen him. They're like, oh, you need a ride? He says yes. He gets in the car. They're like, we're going to make a stop. And they make a stop. He don't know what the fuck they're doing. They get out of the car. They go in to rob somebody. The guy put up a fight. They shot him. They kill him. And they all go down. Problem was, I think he had gotten in trouble in the past. I don't remember if it was violent or not, but he was definitely a minor at the time. But because he had a history or whatever, they just, black man in the South, it was, in Texas, no less. Yeah. So he was screwed. But anyway, so his mom's at a diner one day, and this is how you know this is spirit. She's at a diner and she runs into this lady, this woman, and it's a black woman her age, and they start chit-chatting, just something. She said like something, the lady had said something funny and she started laughing and they just struck up a conversation. So they get to talking. The lady mentions that somehow they got on the topic of their sons, and the lady mentions that her son was incarcerated and blah, 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 and how she started this foundation where it's kind of like the Innocence Project, but it's not the Innocence Project, it's something similar. And she helps people that are, doing life or even death row and they're innocent. And she's like, no shit. And she tells the woman, like, this what's going on. My son got railroaded, blah, 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 wrong place, wrong time. And the lawyer, I paid him 20 grand up front for the appeal. And he just took our money. He's never answering the phone and blah, 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 whatever. So the lady was like, give me the case file and I'll give it to our attorneys and we'll look at it. She gives her the file and she looks at the case and she's like, yeah, I think we could help you. Long of the short, bitch, they got the fucking charge overturned. Overturned in 2023. I'll never forget. It was November 2023. So now she promised me, this woman promised me that she would send flowers once we manifested. I never tell anybody to send me flowers. If they ask me what they can do for me once they've manifested, I will tell them, send flowers for my spirits. People are always asking me, oh, I want to send you a gift, to show appreciation. I always say, Sunflowers for my spirits. Look, I just got some for Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to Shireen and your lovely spirits, ancestors, and Jen. I'm eternally grateful for your love, guidance, and protection. Thank you for all you do for me. I have so many cards I have to post. But anyway, so I always say send flowers for my spirits instead of sending me a gift. Okay, and I never would ever tell anybody to send me flowers before they manifest. People have sent flowers before they manifested, just, because they wanted to, but they don't put a card saying they manifest. They just say, sometimes the card won't say anything, like it'll just say to Shireen from, to Shireen spirits from whoever. So a few people have done that, and that's fine. But I tell them, and you could buy flowers and leave them at home or put them by a tree or something like that. You don't have to send them to me. Anyway, she's the one, it was her idea. She said she was going to send me flowers. And she never did. She never did. And then I said, she's like, oh, girl, when you get my son out of prison, I'm going to write you the best testimonial, blah, blah, blah. And you guys like the video. I haven't updated Gabby, but everything you've done for me manifested. I would love to send flowers. Where do I send them to? Habib, that's important. Let me tell you something. People say that to me all the time. I didn't want to bother you. Like, I manifested, but I didn't want to bother you. And that's what this girl said when I get back to that story. And a lot of people say that. I didn't want to bother. That's the one time I want you to bother me and update me. It is more important to update me when you get positive results, when you get movement, when you get manifestation, so I can give my spirits their offerings from myself on your behalf. Whether you give them an offering for yourself, that's between you and them. But I, being the practitioner that asked them for the favor, I give them, as soon as somebody pays for the work, I give them an offering. And throughout the process, I give them little offerings. Once they manifest, I give them a big offering. So when people don't tell me and they just disappear or whatever, chances are they will get upset. You might not lose it right away, but a lot of the time, majority of the time, I'm not going to say all of the time, whether it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might be a year, 2 years, 3 years, but eventually they're going to take it, usually sooner rather than later. If you never say thank you to me as a practitioner so that I can thank them, and people say, oh, I thank your spirits out loud. My spirits I have their altars here. These are my spirits, my ancestral spirits, the jinns that have been working with me for years, the jinns that have been working with my grandmother for years, my ancestral jinn. Like, that's nice and all, but I give them the offerings on their altar. They have a place in my home. I'm the practitioner, so I need to know. I appreciate you saying something here, and it's better late than never. But when people always be like, oh, I just didn't want to bother you. When you manifest, when you get movement, but when people have a problem, they have no problem bothering me. No problem. They'll bother me with every little fight, every little inconvenience, even things that are not even related to the work that I'm doing for them. Even if I didn't do your work for 3 fucking years, 4 years, I haven't heard from you. And then all of a sudden you have a problem and you want to tell me about it. Now, unless you want to get more work and pay for it, you'd be surprised how many people will pop up years later and be like, update. They'll disappear for all the years, and then all of a sudden, 4 years later, update. Like, what you mean update? So they've been manifested this whole time, disappear, but then want to pop up 4 years later when it goes left, and then update me like we just gonna pick up where we left off because they don't want to pay. Like, are you fucking kidding? I did PayPal an offering. Let me know if your spirits prefer flowers. Habibti, thank you. PayPal is not, doesn't matter. Just even an email saying thank you. Like, that's all. Like, if you said thank you, if you just told me things manifested, that's perfectly fine. You don't even have to do flowers. You don't even have to do PayPal. You don't have to do anything like that. Just a literal message saying, hey, and Val, I'm not breaking your balls or anything. So please don't take this the wrong way. I'm just telling you, telling everybody, because some of you guys don't, for some reason, I don't know how, but don't know better. But like, it's pretty messed up when people, and I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm talking about in general, when they update, whenever, oh, there's nothing or no contact, I haven't heard from him, or oh, we got into a fight, or I had a dream about this, or da, 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 da. And then, but when they get what they want, things start going good, crickets, nothing, hear nothing. And then when you ask them, and then something goes left, of course, because they don't say thank you, and then shit goes left, and then you ask them why the fuck things went well. Why did you manifest it? Oh, see, I know Gabby gets a lot of emails. I didn't want to bother you. But that's more important than any update is that right there. Like, because the spirits, they will give it and they will take it if you do not acknowledge them and acknowledge me. So but regardless, so anyway, back to this woman. She always told me, when my son gets out, I'm gonna give you the best, longest testimonial ever, and I'm gonna send you beautiful. I'm gonna even come to your house and hand you the flowers. I'm not just gonna mail you, I'm gonna hand them to you. I was like, girl, you don't have to do that. Just a nice email would suffice. If you want to send flowers, great, but a nice testimonial email would suffice. I said, matter of fact, if you really want to go the extra mile, you can give me a voice testimonial. I have so many voice testimonials I haven't even posted because I don't think people they don't get a lot of views. And I notice like when I post them, I lose subscribers. So I think people are just not interested in them, but I like to have them for me. But anyway, I'll post them. But some of them bitches, I have so many. Some of them are old as fuck. But still, I mean, I never posted them, so they're new to you guys. But anyhow, so got him got his shit overturned, right? Now I'm waiting for her to send me an email. I'm waiting for her to send me even a text, anything, right? Nothing. No flowers, nothing, right? So a month goes by. I stay silent. I don't say nothing. I don't say, hey, I'm waiting for the testimonial. I don't say a word. I want to see how long it's going to take her before first I was thinking I'm going to let her enjoy her son, he get him out of prison, whatever. Maybe she's just spending time with her son and she just didn't get around to it yet. A month goes by. For something else. So he got picked up and extradited to, I think it was Louisiana or something like that. So now she wants me to help with that. For free, of course. She doesn't offer to pay or ask me how much. She's like, girl, we got him out of jail, but now he's in Louisiana for some other charge, blah, blah. She doesn't say how much do you charge? Can you help me with this? I want to pay you whatever. I said, and how I knew she didn't want to pay because she was like, oh, and I'm the business, real estate, the business not doing so good. I've been so wrapped up. So she was already like prepping me for an excuse as to why she can't pay. I spent $20,000 on that attorney. Yeah, but the woman from this Innocence Project thing, I forget what it was called, but it wasn't the Innocence Project, but similar. Let's call it Innocent Project 2.0. They didn't charge her anything. So, I mean, they made up for that. But anyway, so I'm like, I said, yeah, I never got those flowers and I never got that testimonial you promised me. She's like, oh. I was like, yeah, that's probably a good indication as to why now your son just these charges from a different state that are like years old. Like it was like right before the statute of limitations, like 5 years or 6 years. I said, so she goes, oh, I'll send it to you. So she sends it to me on a Text Now app, on my Text Now app. So that looks fake. Like, I'm not going to post that. It's sent to I asked for an email. It would, like, at least an email. At least, I mean, I get like an email can be fake too, but to send it to a Text Now app, it really looks suspect because it just, I don't know. At least you could have sent an email. But I had to tell you to send that, and then you still didn't even just email it to me. You sent it to my text app. I never even posted it because I'm like, anybody could. I'm very picky about what I choose to post. Okay, I've already been accused of posting fake testimonials, so that's why I said, fuck y'all. I'm not gonna post any testimonials. I'm still gonna get the business because I already been proved myself. Dodgy internet connection again. God damn it. Better. I fucking hate this fucking house. With the damn, I don't know if it's the spiritual. Around this time late, I'm right by the damn box. Is it better now? Was it so? I need to stop going live because it's so bad lately. Especially like late at night or if it's snowing, raining, any kind of inclement weather. It's just terrible. I need to get a different fucking thing. So what part did I start glitching at? You heard most of what you said. People are ungrateful. Yeah, so she sent it to my text app. So I was like, I'm picky about the testimonials I post. I have a million. I don't need anybody's testimonials. I have literally an email full of them. I could literally like show you, screen share my shit and just be like, scroll, 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 scroll. I have testimonials for days. I don't need them. I want them for me. If you haven't noticed, I'm very sentimental and I keep these things for me, for my spirits. And I even stopped posting them because a motherfucker saying, oh, she fixed her testimonial. She sends herself flat. Now I send myself, yeah, I spend, you know how much a bouquet of flowers in this town goes for from a professional place? Hundreds of dollars. I'm not, the fuck, you know what? I said I was going to call the florist, all the florists that delivered to me. They know me by name. If you call Winstead Florist, call Winstead, Connecticut Florist, say, do you know, I want to send flowers to a Shireen Nasir. See if they'll know me. They will tell you, oh, I know her. Guarantee it. Ask them. You guys ask them. Does she send herself flowers? Just ask. I'll let you guys do it. Call any florist in Winstead, Connecticut, or Torrington. Winstead mainly. I'm pretty sure Mascarello's is in Winstead. Just search flowers near Winstead, Connecticut. Call them all. See if they know me. Ask them if I've ever once sent myself flowers. Call 1-800-Flowers. Ask them if I've ever sent myself flowers. Never. So people are accusing me. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I won't even post shit. I did that Instagram thing where I was like, tell me how I helped you. So many people answered. I had to do it so fast so I can get it done in 24 hours. Like, Oh, that's bots. Bots. So bots send me to, like, no matter what, it's always something. But the motherfuckers that, I'm not even going to compare myself to other people because there's no comparison. But regardless, so the point was, I wanted the testimonial for me. I have fucking Spectrum. They were good in West Haven. They were good in South Carolina. Here, they suck. But there's so, like, no options. There's Frontier, which sucked even worse. But you know what's funny? Justin, um, he got, when we first got here, it was good. And then he switched to something else. It sucked. And then he switched back. And ever since he switched back, it's been terrible. So I don't know what the fuck. But it's I gotta get it fixed because it's so annoying when I go live. Yeah, we're the best bots. Yeah, so no matter what, it's like, it's always something. They're bots, I'm this and that. Like, people are such haters, I just can't. So fuck it. I'm not, like, I don't have to prove myself. My work speaks for itself. My clients speak for themselves. I don't need to get a new client ever in my fucking life. I'll be just fine. I have plenty of return clients that come to me, that have been coming to me for a decade. So fuck that. But the point is, I wanted that shit for myself, for my spirits. It makes me feel good. It reminds me why I continue, why I haven't just said, fuck this shit. It's taking my health, it's taking my, time, everything. Like, my mom died. I'm getting to the age my mom was when she passed. That's a weird feeling. I want to enjoy my life. I haven't been enjoying my life. Money does not buy happiness. It's true. Like, it makes shit easier, but the money that I make, the money that I've been able to earn, I worked my fucking ass off for it, and then I invested it. I was smart with it, and I try to teach you guys what to do, what to invest in. I've been saying, invest in gold and silver, invest in gold and silver, invest in gold and silver. For how long have I been telling you guys that? Forever. May she rest in peace. Thank you, Habibti. And not the paper silver, not the paper that says you own silver and they store it for you. No. Get gold and silver and have it in your hand and take it to the bank and put it in a safety deposit box and lock that shit at the bank. Don't let nobody store it for you. Don't accept a piece of paper that says you have so many ounces of gold or so many ounces of silver. You get that shit, you pick it up, or you have it mailed or whatever, and then you take it to a secured bank. Get a safety deposit box. Don't tell nobody where it's at. Nobody what bank it's in. Let nobody have access to it but you. And store your shit there. Don't accept those paper slips because a lot of people get fucked that way. But I've been saying that for years, and I tried to give you guys advice on that. But anyway, I'm squirreling. So back to the point. So this broad, she sends me a testimonial. It was nice, but she sent it to my text app, so I felt like, okay, I had to ask you for it. And the only reason you're sending it now is because you need my help again. So I just ignored her after that. She didn't even send the flowers for my spirits, which, don't promise something to my spirits and then not do it. I'd rather you not say you're going to do something and then, like, I'd rather you just not say you're going to do something and don't do it than tell me you're going to do it. Or so, say, so my spirits will hear you. They hear everything. You say, I'm going to get them flowers once you manifest, and then don't do it. You just broke a promise to them. That's never a good idea. So Exactly. She tied herself up over something she didn't need to. Exactly. I would rather you just not make a promise to them and then don't keep it. Well, that's what she did. So I just was like, I can't help you now because you disrespected my spirits. So she popped up in my lab a few times and she's like, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. I mean, the whole birthday scenario was strike one. And then having to ask for the testimonial, strike two, promising flowers for my spirits and never giving it to them, strike three. Once you met, and that was like the way, I mean, you can't make that shit up the way that shit happened. I mean, if that, there's no way you can say it was coincidence. It's no way. That shit was definitely spell work, divine intervention. She paid that lawyer 20 grand to do nothing for her, to basically rob her. She paid 2,200 to me, and I worked for her for 4 years on this court case and got her son out on this random fucking thing where she randomly meets this lady in a diner who happens to fucking have had a son who got railroaded and made a foundation to help people that are innocent and in situations like that. I mean, you can't say that that wasn't divine intervention, that wasn't spirit. You just can't. So never again. But regardless, and she was such a pain in the ass the whole fucking time. I wanted to drop her multiple times. Multiple times. And when she said, oh, I hope you enjoyed my money, when she thought I blocked her, and it turned out it was her fucking email that was full. It wasn't I didn't block her. I hope you enjoy my money. After I was working for her for 3 years at that point, you're $2,200 for like, oh my God, I can't. So anyway, so back to the girl with the spell that she didn't consider manifested. The one that she didn't hear from the boyfriend, and instead of just contacting him and being an adult and maybe worrying something happened to him, she got all mad and said some very, very mean, dirty, downright awful shit, right? Yeah, 4 years. 4 years. I made, not only work for free, I cost myself money. You want to know something? Full sets are practically charity. You want to know why? Yeah, they're more expensive, but I'm not going to tell you to get a full set unless your case I feel is going to be difficult. Some cases, they knew that their case was going to be hard because of the stubbornness and all that. And I even offered to do, let me go back. You guys are squirreling me. Anyway, so I'll get to that. But so she said some hurtful shit to the guy, and I mean, brought his child into it and said something very, 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 very fucked up. And it was so unnecessary. The whole thing was just so unnecessary. So I called her late at night. Mind you, she had sent me a message on my phone that I didn't see because I have my phone on silent because of my major anxiety. I just felt like I needed to call her. She tells me what happened, whatever. Then she starts giving me all the details about how, like, he went all out for her birthday, which was literally like the beginning. So we talked like around the 1st of February. Her birthday was 3 weeks prior to that. He had went all out for her birthday. She told me took her on multiple trips to a resort with his work, introduced her as his girlfriend, all this, that, and the third, bought her favorite brand pocketbook, bought her favorite brand clothing to match the purse, the perfume, the watch, everything, and went all out for her. And so I'm like, so why are you so like, you're telling me, what more did you want from me? Because that's a reconciliation right there. She's like, well, I wanted him to ask me like he did the first time. I'm like, Or what's understood doesn't need to be explained. I'm full send. I always pay for my extra spells. Never ask for freebies or a discount because I know the value streams work in time. Plus, I want my end game enough to invest. Habibti, thank you. And I never ask for that. Gabby, you guys let me know if Gabby does because I sure as hell don't. I would never ask for more money unless you are getting something different than what I already quoted you. But I don't ever ask for that and I don't expect that. And I appreciate, I know people are nice and just want to do that. I'm hoping that that's why you do that and that nobody pushes you to do that or makes you feel like you have to do that because that's not what I would want. But I would never ask. I'm just, hold on, look at the cuteness, the cuteness, the cuteness, the cuteness. Oh man, she had her eyes closed. It was so cute. Anyway, so exactly what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Actions speak louder than words. And what more the fuck do you want from me, ma'am? Okay, I think I earned that $500, $555. I think I earned it. Okay, I gave you a hella discount because you've been a client and a friend. Like I've known her for a decade. She's from where I'm from in Florida. Like, what more can you ask for, ma'am? But nonetheless, she was upset and I fucked with her the long way. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to fix this. But you do not reach out to him. Do not text him. Do not call him. Back the fuck off. Did you apologize? Yes, she did. Okay. Did he accept your apology? He says he did, but he still don't want nothing to do with me. Okay. Well, you apologize. I said, did you apologize once, twice? Yes, I apologized multiple times. I said, okay, so you did that. That's all you could do. Don't reach out to him. I will try to fix this. Mind you, I didn't ask her for an extra dime. Somehow I noticed, like when I worked my freaking self up, you don't understand. I literally have to go through a pep talk and like work myself up to go through my text messages, literally. And I did that. Most of them. I didn't do all of them, but what I could do. And because again, I have an assistant and nobody should be texting me about no fucking work shit anyway. It should go to my email, regardless. But anyway, she texted me and she was like, before I called her, before I didn't see this, something must have been looking out for her because I swear to God, if I would have saw this, then I would have lost my ever loving mind. I would have lost my shit. I would have lost my shit. She's like, she goes, oh, I'm getting there. Please don't tell me she didn't even listen again. I'm getting there. So I go through the messages and I see a message from her and it says, she goes, hey, Shireen, Shireen, and that's how I know when somebody has an attitude when they say my name, not hey girl, hey sis, hey babe. Shireen, it's kind of like your man, like Justin, when he calls me Shireen, I know he's mad at me. Like, no, my name's not Shireen, it's Bae. Don't call me Shireen unless you're mad at me. So me and her call each other sis. So I knew she was mad. She goes, Shireen. She goes, I just emailed Gabby and told her that the reconciliation didn't work. And she goes, and she told me that I had to book another consult. I don't understand. We just did a reading. Why would I have to book another consult? I'm confused. Why would I have to book another consult? Because the spell didn't work. What? What? What now? Morticia, what are you apologizing for? Mistress Morticia, what are you apologizing for, Habibti? What is Morticia apologizing for? Mistress Morticia is a day one. She's been following me for. I asked to pay you for a prayer. Oh, you don't have to pay me for a prayer, girl. Are you kidding me? I would never. Tell me what you need to message me on my website contact form, and I will light a candle and pray for you. You do not have to pay me to pray for you. That's crazy. No, ma'am. Just tell me what, especially if it's like something health related about an animal or something like rent, like you're about to be, God forbid, in a bad, God forbid, it's an emergency. Yeah, of course. Like, what the fuck do you guys think I am? I'm not a freaking animal. You're welcome, Habibti, of course. I'll always pray for you guys and like light a candle or whatever, especially if it's like something important, like you're about to be homeless, God forbid, or your animal's sick, or you're sick, or your mom's sick, or whatever, you're about to lose your job, God forbid, any of that. Like, I rebuke that shit. Khamsa, khamsa, khamsa. Allah yastar, Allah yastar, Allah yastar. Anyway, so, oh, Habibti. So remember when you come for me when daddy passed away. You gotta make me cry. You called my house right away when my house was on fire. Love you more. I'll always care about you guys. I'm always going to be there as much as I can. But now I'm trying to just build stronger boundaries because I learned some people just don't give a fuck. They'll use you up. As soon as you are no longer of use to them, they play the friend card. Oh, we're friends. No, this is a business. I got to remember, business is business, friends are friends. Like, whoever stuck around after I was no longer useful to them, or I'll always be useful because, like, you don't have to tell me twice. You don't have to ask me. Like, if something's going on with my friends, I'm going to help. But, like, people always, and that's fine. Like, once they don't need you no more, they forget about you, and that's fine. But it's like, don't play the friend card when it's convenient, and then, they're not your friend. But fuck that. Anyway, so when I saw that message, I wanted to fucking call her right then and there and go slap the fuck off. Like, I was like shaking. I was so angry. I was shaking. So all I did, because it was like hella late, it was like 4 a.m, I just put the, like, it's like, I don't, you can react to it. I put the emoji of, like, that emoji that's like kind of like rolling your eyes, but just like that emoji, like what the fuck emoji. And I didn't say anything else. Because if I would have got to texting and typing, I would have, I know myself. I would have went in. I have no chill, none whatsoever. So I was like, let me calm the fuck down. Because we had talked since she messaged us. So she would be probably real confused because we talked. She probably would thought I saw that message, but I didn't. So she would have been real confused. So then when she saw my reaction, she's like, oh, I guess you didn't see that message, LOL. She goes, my bad. I didn't respond because I was still like, and here I am redoing this fucking work, and she had the nerve to tell me the spell didn't work. Meanwhile, What you mean it didn't work? You were on vacations with him. He was introducing you as his girlfriend. You were talking every fucking day. He was good morning you every day, good nighting you every day, freaking going all out for your birthday. You were fucking him. If you guys weren't together, you shouldn't have been fucking him. You shouldn't even been in contact. So what do you mean? Like, I just couldn't understand. I was like, so I tried just not to fucking lose my shit. So I was gonna calm down and speak to her. Before I could, she messaged me how, because I told her, do not contact him. My goal is to try to get him to contact you a little bit after Valentine's Day, because I felt like he wasn't going to do it by Valentine's Day, but after, because he doesn't celebrate Valentine's Day. Now, with cases that they're still in contact or they just broke up, like, I can do that. But like, full set cases are usually cases that there hasn't been contact for a while, or there's like complications. But her and I've been working together on different things, different situations for years. So I can gauge the energy. Like, I've known her for so long, like I can gauge how long something will take. I can't do that with somebody brand new, because I'm not familiar with the energy of the, you yet, or in the people that you date. So with some people that I know for a long time, been working with for a long time on different things, I can generally gauge. With her, she's one of those. So I was like, if he doesn't reach out to you by a few days after Valentine's Day, like around the 18th, 19th, then we'll reconvene. Don't reach out to him, though. I said this when we spoke last. What do you think she did? Of course, like a week before Valentine's Day, she says, I got sick of waiting and I reached out. Yeah, I'm so confused. LOL. She was with him and she's saying it didn't work. Huh? Exactly. Because he didn't ask her. He didn't ask her out. She wanted him to ask her out like he did the first time. So I guess taking you on like a trip with his whole job, with his boss and his coworkers and everything, and parading you to all of his people and introducing you as his girlfriend doesn't count, because he didn't ask you, will you be my girlfriend? I mean, are we in middle school? Did you want him to like write you one of those notes that says, will you be my girlfriend? Check yes or no box. Like, we didn't, like, some of you guys remember this shit. Like, if you're a Generation X or even older millennial, do you remember that? Will you be my girlfriend? Yes box, no box, check yes or no. You remember that? Is that what you want? Is that what you expect? He basically put a label on it. Exactly. He labeled it. He claimed you to others, which is even more, to me, is even more important, to claim me to your coworkers, to your people, to your son, and that's, I think, more showing that you're together than anything else, because there are guys that'll be like, yeah, you're my old lady, you're my girl, will you be my girlfriend, but then won't post you on social media, won't take you to trips, won't like your post, won't nothing, won't introduce you as his girl. They'll be like, oh, this is my friend. So I'd rather have a man claim me to other people than Like, come on. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. And if you really truly felt like you weren't back together, why were you doing all the things that you shouldn't have been doing if that were the case? And then when I asked her, I was like, well, why didn't you tell me all the good things? I'm like, why is it that things had to go left for you to update me? She's like, oh, I didn't want to bother you. That's my favorite fucking excuse. You don't want to bother me. You don't want to bother me when you get results. You don't want to bother me when you get movement. You don't want to bother me to say thank you. You don't want to bother me to show gratitude so I can show gratitude to my spirits and give them offerings for the movement, for the manifestation. That's the manifestation. I give them the biggest offering. They get an offering before the work. As soon as you pay, boom, here's an offering for this. Please do this for me. Here's your offering. I'm going to give you this once I start to see movement. I'm going to give you this once I get manifestation. But I can't do that if you don't tell me. I know it. Don't get it twisted. I know. 90% of the time, I could feel it. Anyway, I know. Especially when a bitch goes silent. When they hound you every fucking day until they manifest and all of a sudden they disappear. I know. But if you don't tell me and you don't say thank you and show that gratitude, I'm going to make sure my jinn, my spirits know that you didn't show the gratitude. I gave you the offering on my behalf before you even gave them anything. But it's up to them to show the gratitude. It comes out of what they paid me already. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for you to buy them anything. But I take another portion of what you paid and give them more offerings. But if you don't say anything, even if I know, I'm gonna let them know. They already know if you manifested or not. So you not telling me so that I can properly thank them on your behalf. Like I said, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. We don't speak a lot, but whenever we do, you know everything. I love it. I do. I know you guys don't even have to tell me, but it's the point that you're supposed to. So I tell them, it might not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it could be a year from now, it could be 5 years from now, but one day you are going to lose what they gave you. And the more upset, the more disrespected they feel, especially if you're the type of person that hounded me every day, hounded me and Gabby constantly when you weren't getting movement, when you were waiting, when you were in that waiting phase, or getting all impatient or even rude. And I don't tolerate that shit anymore. People are rude to Gabby. People think for some reason they could talk to Gabby any type of way. You can't. I have news for you. I don't have to tolerate it. She doesn't have to tolerate it. Nobody pays us enough, me enough, to tolerate that shit. There's no amount of money in the world that will have me accept disrespect for me or my assistant or my husband. Never. Nobody owns me. Nobody owns Gabby. You're paying me for a service. That doesn't mean we have to be at your beck and call. It doesn't mean that we have to drop everything to speak to you anytime, day or night. Like, it's amazing to me in spiritual work how people think, like, even I've seen, like, on certain forums, people pay somebody $150 for a spell and then say, oh, they don't respond quickly enough to my questions. Like, what? They don't you paid them to do your candle work or whatever it is. So are they supposed to what? Like, You're paying for the material. You're paying for the time and energy for the work. You're paying for, I mean, I don't know about them, but for me, you're paying for the offering. You're paying for the work itself. And whatever I choose to do in addition to that is a courtesy. I don't have to. I never guarantee results. I never guarantee a specific time frame. I'm very clear that there is always a chance that your spell may not work, especially if you don't follow instructions, especially if you lie to me, especially if I tell you not to do something and you choose to do it, especially if you try to get away with doing things that you know you weren't supposed to do and trying to just put it under the rug to skirt accountability. I will try to fix it to the best of my ability, but if you do things and you lie to me about it, that's going to be a problem. If I gave you a rule to follow, there is a reason. It's not for no reason. Everything I say or do has a reason behind it. So if you choose to not listen to me, do not get upset when shit doesn't go the way you want it to go. Because just because you get magic doesn't mean this is Harry fucking Potter and you can do or say or act or whatever, do everything you want to do, even though I tell you not to, and then think it's my fault, Gabby's fault, or anybody else's fault that your shit didn't manifest. Have an agreement before you read them and just cut off the reading. You need to do what you need to do. It's not that easy, girl, with the reading thing. First of all, the chant itself, now I only read with the jinn. But even before I read, like, before I would read, I would watch my pick of cards. I was saying, calling upon my guides, guardians, ancestors, spirit guides. And then I would call upon the guides, guardians, and ancestors of the person that I'm reading, right? But now, like for the past year or so, I only read with the jinn. They've made it very clear they only want me to read with them. So depending on what day of the week, I have to say a chant anywhere from 1 time, 3 times, 7 times, or 9 times. It just depends. And it's in Arabic, and they force me to do reversals. So the chant itself, I don't count because it takes about sometimes 5 to 10 minutes to repeat that chant 7 times. So, you got that 10 minutes in chant time. And then, so of course, I'm not going to count that, even though a lot of spiritualists would. A lot of readers don't give a fuck. They'll count even just chit chat. Hi, how are you? They'll still count that in their time. I don't do that. But that's even beside the point. I always tell people up front what it is. You have to follow directions. There's no guarantee. I can give you a time frame based on previous experience, but that is not, if I say 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months, some less, some more. It could be a lot less. I've had cases take hours, and I've had cases take fucking years. I mean, I can't give an exact time frame. I feel so bad because I haven't been in touch with you regarding the work we discussed. I know you said it would take time, which is why I haven't contacted you yet. Should I email you or text for an update? Yeah, I don't know who you are just based on your screen name. So, and I always tell people, your updates are important because if you stop updating and you haven't manifested yet, I'm going to assume that, because most people, when they disappear, they got what they want. If you stop updating and you haven't manifested, I'm going to stop boosting because I don't know. Your updates, how am I supposed to keep track if you're not updating me? Like, the point of the update is so I know who manifested and who did not. That's really the point of the update. People use it way beyond that, like emotional sounding board, trauma dumping. Oh, I had a dream about a fig leaf climbing up my ass. What does that mean? Um, just things that are unnecessary, things that don't even have anything to do with the type of work I'm doing for them, like whatever. But the point of the updates are for me to know, did you manifest? Yes or no? Have you gotten movement? Yes or no? That's pretty much it. That way, if I continue, if you are manifesting that you have not met, if you are updating, you have not manifested yet, then I know to continue to boost once a month at least. Sometimes depending on how long I've been working with you, once every 3 months, if it's been past a certain time. I mean, I can't always pay out of my ass ridiculous amounts of money to pay for materials and more importantly, the time. But I will do it as much as I can. I will. But if you stop updating and you haven't manifested, that either, well, if you stop updating, period, you just disappear. You don't tell me you've manifested. You don't tell me you've not manifested. You just stop updating. I'm going to assume you either A, manifested, because a lot of people do that. It's kind of shitty, but they do. Or B, you stopped giving a fuck. So there's no point in me continuing. Or C, you witch hopped to somebody else. And usually that is the case. So either A, you manifested and didn't care enough to tell me. B, you didn't give a fuck. You stopped caring about the situation. So you just disappear. Or C, you witch hop. Those are the usual three things. Or once in a blue moon, it'll be just you got busy and I mean, or some people will say, oh, I just didn't want to bother you because whatever, nothing happened yet. But I can't keep track. I can't, if you don't keep yourself, once a month, that's why I need an update once a month at least. Even if you've gotten no movement, so that I know that, so I can tweak the work, I can change it, try this, try that, whatever. So quick email once a month, yeah, nothing happened yet, or this happened, or important things that are relevant to your case. But please, you know what I've also noticed? What people consider manifestations, sometimes you have to sit there and put a mirror up to them. I've been about for a few years to make it very clear how you work. You shouldn't have to repeat yourself. Thank you, Seth. I feel like as soon as you manifest it, you should be the first thing to want to tell you. And a lot of people are, and you are one of those beautiful, 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 and that's why you get what you want every single time. Mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. People like you. And look, Vivi, I'm not going to say her full name because it's very different. Thank you and your amazing spirits for all you've done and continue to do for me. I appreciate you very much. Love you so much. Offering for you and your spirits. Thank you. This person, every time, Monica too. You don't have to do the flower thing, but she always thanks me. Always is so, for everything she gets. You don't have to thank me for nothing. I never ask. Oh my God. Somebody once posted some shit that I tell people to show gratitude by giving me bullshit testimonials. What? What? Cece, is this a one and done candle work or is this a full set? Because full sets, I'm like so clear about how that works. Candle works, get photos, the one and dones. Group rituals get posted. Full sets, I don't send photos. Dominant, so it's a one and done. You didn't get your picture? How long was it within the last 9 weeks that you ordered it? I have to look. Can you message me? We're talking way too much. Has it been, so you didn't get your, has it been more than 9 weeks since you ordered it? To the sewing? What's a sewing? And you didn't get it? Okay, then that's an issue. Please message me on my Arabian Conjure orders. Actually, no, message me on the contact form on my website. Just go on the website, hit the 3 lines, hit contact, and message me there. And that way I can see what why you haven't got your picture where it's at. If you have a different email, if you paid through PayPal and you have a different email, we send it to the email that's connected to whatever payment method you have. So it could be that. But yeah, if it's been more than because I put for the one and dones, I give a time frame. It's usually between 6 to 9 weeks because I get a lot, and I do moon phases, days of the week, because it's one and done. I want to make sure I do it on the right day, the right moon phase, get everything right because I got one shot. So I give it anywhere between, I try to do it as fast as I can, but I say give it up to 9 weeks just in case where you're at in the queue and all of that. But if it's been more than that, definitely, don't be afraid to email us and say, hey, I didn't get the photo, because it could be, that we sent it to the wrong email, or if it was, sometimes people have different PayPal emails than what they actually use. They don't, you know what I mean? Some people use one for PayPal, but use another one for, so it could be a multitude of things. Sometimes we send emails and it's like through Outlook. Outlook sucks. Outlook sucks. We'll send, they have an Outlook email and it'll say the mailbox is full. And then we're like, how the fuck? We'll look to see if there's a phone number. There's no phone number to contact the person. So it's like, we got to wait for them to contact us because we have no way to contact them. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. So message me there so I can see what the hell is up. It could just be a matter of he put it in a draft and forgot to hit send. We're human, mistakes happen, but I'm sure it's something like that. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask if you didn't get something. Yeah, you definitely should have received a picture of that. I'm sorry, Habibti. How can people come to you for work and be so ungrateful? Because that's the thing I just don't know. I really don't. I really don't. Maybe it's me. Because I see people doing all sorts of fuck shit. Like that bitch that extorted my client. That I had to fuck her ass up. I fucked that bitch up good too. Fucked her ass up. She got divorced, broke her ribs, broke her fucking spine, got fucked up on opiates. She wanted to talk shit to me about, talking about my past and my struggles, what I went through. I said, all right, bitch, watch. Watch. Everything. Everything. It was like so literal. And there's some people that saw that shit. I was like, look, I just threw together fucking candle work. For me, I could literally just be on the phone talking, doing my spell for myself. If it's for me, I'll half-ass the whole thing. I don't do the spell, talking to Justin on FaceTime, and that shit'll still work. When it comes to me, I don't have to barely put any effort. Can you imagine if I actually fucking put the effort? You remember that, Val? I showed you. Rib cage candle. Broken ribs. Spine candle. Fractured spine. Fractured vertebrae. Brain candle. Oh, you wanted to make fun of my addiction, bitch? Okay. You're going to be addicted to opiates. Crying about not getting opiates. I swear to God. I swear on my mother's grave. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. I did that shit in August of 24. By when did I start seeing all that shit? I have to look at my phone because people were texting it to me. I think it was by like January the following year. I didn't even ask to have, did I ask to have her lose her husband? I don't even think I asked for that part. I was taking chicken bones, just breaking them. I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. But yeah, he shared screenshots and photos. She was coming to her. Yeah. I showed you like how literal it was. I was shocked. I was like that's why I had to like show people. I'm like, you see that? Like, look at the screenshot. What she said. Look at the spell. Thank God I put a little sihr in the jar, but for myself, I'll just throw some candle work together because I know my spirit, my jinn, they're gonna, because I take such good care of them. So the definition of fuck around and find out. Monica, I showed you too. There's quite a few. Bridge, you saw that. Yep. I have witnesses. I had to have witnesses. I had to show people because otherwise nobody would fucking believe me. Nobody would believe me. Nobody. So I had to show clients, like, look what I did. Like, check out this. Look at her post. Like, everything was I'm so glad I took pictures of it. Something told me, I usually don't take pictures of the work I do for myself, but something told me take pictures of it. And then she was making posts and everything matched what I was like, whoa. Oh, I used kidneys. And chicken hearts, heart failure, kidney failure. She was posting about. You couldn't see the kidneys and the chicken hearts because they were in the jar, and I used like black nasty war water, so you couldn't really see it, but you could see the rib cage candle, you could see the spine candle with the nails in it, and you could see her saying she cracked 8 ribs. You could see that she had her C6 7 fucking whatever vertebrae broke, and then the brain candle, you could see the pins, and I was like, you know, because your brain is what gets you addicted to opiates from the opiate receptors. She wanted to make fun of me being prescribed pills when I was in my early 20s after a car accident and after my mother passed away and getting addicted to them. This was during that whole epidemic when doctors were lying to patients and telling us that OxyContin was not addictive. Patiently waiting for what? Rosemary. People are terrible and ignorant. Selfish, sorry, I had to go through that. The fact that she made fun of my struggle as an addict and being in recovery, and that bitch had been arrested before for methamphetamine. You might have been addicted to crystal meth, but from my understanding, just being in jail and locked up and in rehab with people on that shit, they were able to sleep. They were able to eat. They were just tired, sleeping all day. There is nothing like opioid addiction. There is nothing like it. Okay. And if you guys ever watch a documentary called Dope Sick, it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there, but there's a documentary called Dope Sick, and it's about how Purdue Pharma, basically, they started out by they were marketing their Oxycontin as a slow release opioid. And they were telling doctors that because of the slow release, the fact that anyone would go against a witch, here's the thing, that bitch calls herself a witch. That's the thing. She's the one that blackmailed my client for $7,000. And he had already paid her like a disgusting amount of money. Disgusting amount of money. It was horrible. Okay. So he was nothing but good to her. Too good to her. She fucking screwed him so bad in the ass with no lube, basically. And then when he basically just tried to gracefully cut ties, not even badmouth her, he didn't go online and just start just talking shit about her, nothing. And that's what I'm saying, like, people like this, see, people are too afraid to badmouth them. I have never threatened to tell on somebody, like, oh, I'll tell your target if you don't pay me this or whatever. The only person I threatened like that was this one motherfucker who, on my 40th birthday, these two people tried me on the same day. He met up with his target. This was like for the fourth or fifth time. And he kept, every time he would meet up with her, he would start calling her a whore and talking shit and all this craziness. And then she'd be reminded, oh, yeah, that's why I broke up with you. Thanks for reminding me. Peace. And then she'd leave. And he'd do this over and over and over again. Well, once again, he did this. And it was my birthday. I was away in Vegas. He insisted to Gabby, I need to talk to Shireen. I need to talk to Shireen now. He had the nerve to write in the email, I followed all of your rules. I followed all of your rules. Like, I don't have a fucking memory, and like, we don't keep records of everything. No, you didn't. You broke every one of my rules. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, Gabby's like, she's away on her 40th birthday, which is a milestone, motherfucker. She's in Vegas. She's not going to call you right now. When she gets back, I'll tell her. That wasn't a good enough answer. So this motherfucker, do you know what he did? He did a dispute on my PayPal, which is a big fucking mistake. He did a dispute not only for the work that he took fucking forever to pay me off for. I did a payment plan. It's always, let me say, it's always the payment plan, motherfuckers. Not always. There's some people do, but that's why I don't fucking deal with that. He took forever to pay me off finally, right? Mind you, I'm the only one who got results for him. The only one. He's worked with multiple people. The only one that got results. Every fucking time he'd meet up with the girl, she'd call to meet up with him, he'd meet up with her, he'd start abusing her verbally. Every time. And I'd still fix it. And he didn't even pay me off at this point. So I'm not gonna charge you more, right? Anyway, he finally pays me off. He got rituals, he got this, he got that. He disputed every fucking thing, including group rituals and products and everything. You do give results. You got me unblocked. So this motherfucker, to get my attention, according to him, to get my attention. Oh, you got my attention, motherfucker. Not in the good way, though. So he disputed. It was like over $2,000 worth of shit, right? I fucking messaged him and I said, listen up, you motherfucker. I'm not even gonna lie. This is exactly what I said. I said, I'm getting on this plane. I was living in Myrtle Beach at the time. I said, I'm getting on this plane right now to go home. If I land in Myrtle Beach and that money ain't back in my PayPal, you're about to fuck around and find out. I'm gonna fuck your ass up. I'm gonna go call your chain of command because he's in the military. I'm gonna let them know that you scammed me out of services and products, which is illegal, especially when you can't do that shit in the military. I will tell them that. And if your bitch thinks that you're psycho now, she's really gonna know how psycho you fucking are. Fuck around and find out. That money better be back in my account by the time I land in Myrtle Beach. If I step off this plane and that money's not there, fuck around and find out. And I said, and you had the audacity to say that you followed every rule? You followed every rule. My memory, I pulled up what about this? Screenshot. What about this? Screenshot. What about this? Send. 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 I sent him like 10 fucking messages of us scolding him to stop doing what he was doing. I said, who do you think you're dealing with here? Do you think, you must really think that like, I sit around with my thumb up my ass all day and I don't know who my clients are. I don't know my cases like the back of my hand, that I don't really work these fucking cases. Like what, why would you think that you could message me, I followed every one of your rules, and actually think that that would fly? Like what? Anyway, girl, before I even got on the plane, that money was back in my fucking PayPal. So yes, that was the only time I ever threatened a motherfucker like that. But he pushed me beyond belief. Okay, you can't, I'm a witch at the end of the day. All right, you can't, no respectable witch is going to let you disrespect her to that level. And you think that what? We're witches. We're rule breakers as it is. We curse people. I curse people. Like, you really think? Yeah, professionalism, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm a witch, though. No self-respecting witch is going to let you shit on her, disrespect her, steal her money, try to lie right to her, like in writing, lie about following rules and think you're just going to get off scot-free. No, ma'am, no, sir, no. So anyway, after he gave me the money back, I was like, and thank you. I said, you did me a favor. I'm officially done with you. Goodbye. I dare you to ever do that shit again. I dare you to speak ill on my name. I said, because you and I both know damn well I was the only witch out of all the spiritual workers you went to that got you any results. And you took fucking way long. You're supposed to, when I did payment plans, you're supposed to be paid off within 30 days, 60 days max. He took like months to pay me. Months. Okay? Months and months. And then he was still ordering shit. before he even paid me off, I let it slide. Okay, not no more. But after he gave my money back, he had the audacity to beg me to take him back as a client. And even like up to 2 years later, to this day, he still messages me. It's been years, begs me to take him back as a client. He's never been able to find someone again to get him the results that I did. It's like, please, please, he goes, you're the only one that ever got me results. I have the fucking emails. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to get your attention. Please, you're like my BFF. You're my big sister. Like, please. Like, yeah, okay, trying to manipulate me. No, no. Once you do the dispute thing, no. No, no, no. No. So unnecessary. No. And even like I had one lady, literally, she ordered shit on my website that clearly said the time frame pre-order. It was like between 6 to 9 weeks. It was a pre-order. I put it in caps. Okay. She was still well within that. She was like still weeks early. Within 2 weeks, she's already fucking hounding me, right? She asked for a special order shit for keeping spirits out of her home. She ordered the cleansing baths pre-order or the salt scrubs pre-order. So totally different thing she was asking for. So her being a first time customer, I was like, you know what, I'll make her a little batch of like a spirit barrier powder and I'll throw it in for her. Well, she kept hounding, right? I'm like, so Gabby told her, she's like, you're still, I mean, read the description. You're like this is a pre-order. You're way within. And I even put on like on everything. Usually I have a batch. Now I have it like a system to where I usually have like when one batch is charging, the other batch is ready. But at this point in time, that was like it was a new product. So it was a pre-order, and even sometimes I'll run out. So I always keep that timeline just in case I run out of stuff. Because sometimes people order stuff all at the same time, and I have to make new batches, and I don't have backup. So anyway, so Gabby told her, you're well within the time, and she goes, okay, dude. She's like, yeah, dude. Can you just tell me when I'm getting my stuff? Like with an attitude. So I respond, I'm like, hi, dude, quote unquote. I said, and I screenshot the description. I said, read the description before you order. And in this particular pre-order, I literally put, if you are impatient, do not order. Like I literally put that in caps. The wait time is 6 to 9 weeks. If you cannot wait, please do not order. So I like circled it and I'm like, please read before. I said, and not to mention, you asked for something that you didn't even pay for. You didn't even offer to pay for it. It was a custom made thing. And I just was making it as a courtesy. I said, so you were getting that for free. On top of that, because the way you were hounding, we thought we were late. So Justin made you a nice little khamsa wall hang, with epoxy and crystals, and we were blessing and charging it. And no, I didn't mention that yet. I didn't tell her that part yet. I said I was making you a custom, spirit barrier, and that needs to be charged and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, dude, thank you. So what does she do? She goes on my PayPal and disputes it. Now you're fucking with my business. Alhamdulillah, I don't get disputes. Knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood. Khamsa, khamsa, khamsa. But you can only get so many with PayPal before you lose it. And I don't take really anything but PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. and I have Justin for Cash App. I tried to make a fundraiser for Gaza, and all of a sudden they canceled my Cash App. They did this to me twice, by the way. They could never tell me why. I'm like, did I get like disputes that I don't know about? No. Okay, why'd you close my account? Oh, there, you broke one of the rules, one of the 150,000 rules on the terms and conditions. I'm like, you can't tell me which, and they couldn't tell me. I know it has to do with Gaza, but fuck them. But I do have Justin's Cash App, worst case scenario. I have Apple Pay, whatever. So if somebody wants a refund, even though I say no refunds, you can ask me without going to fucking PayPal first. But this bitch went to PayPal. I messaged her. I said, you know what? I said, thank you. I said, that was totally unnecessary. I said, I went ahead and I went to try to process the refund. But before I did, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and process your refund. I said, but you just did me a favor, because not only were we giving you a $77 product for free with the protection barrier that was custom, you got these pre-orders and on a sale price. That was actually a mistake, and we priced it a lot cheaper, which we did than we were supposed to. So we were actually losing by the time, with the shipping and the material costs and everything else, we were actually losing money. Not to mention the way you were hounding us. Justin thought we were late, so he made you a nice epoxy piece with crystals. That's like it was a small piece. It was like $177 piece in and of itself. I said, and you spent a whole, like, less than $100. I said, so you're actually doing me a favor, because I was going to lose money on this deal. We were just trying to give you a good experience as a first-time customer, because that's who we are. I said, but no, but we appreciate that. All you had to do is ask for the refund, even though I say no refunds. I still would have did it, because again, I was losing, but you know, I'm going to process it. So before I could process it, right, all of a sudden I can't, it's not letting me. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get a message. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Please don't refund me. I canceled the dispute. I have mental health problems. Blah blah blah. She started going on and on and on. When she realized how much free shit she was missing out on, then all of a sudden she wanted to apologize and not cancel it. I said, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let you slide, but you're not getting the free epoxy piece anymore. Right there, that's like a $200 piece almost that we were giving you for free. You're not getting that. I said, I will give you a khamsa, a small epoxy khamsa, because, I don't like being like that, but there's consequences for your actions. Okay. So anyway, but it's just crazy. Like, but people like this, my point was, this woman blackmailed my client. He was nothing but good to her, never badmouthed her publicly on forums or nothing, even though he had every reason to. She told, like, she did so much fucked up shit. Did readings, was totally wrong, said that, because of course she did the breakup work. She said, the third party was gone. He went to a wedding, saw his target with the third party, and she was trying to, like, say, oh, that wasn't her, or it wasn't him. That must have been somebody else. And he's like, Miss B, that was what are you talking about? I know what he looks like. It was crazy. It was just so much stuff. And then to turn around after he paid her like 30 grand, 30, even more. I'm going by like guesstimating, because I asked him, like, how much money did you pay this woman overall? I'm like, 15 grand. He's like, more. I'm like, 20. He's like, more. 25, more. I'm like, no fucking way. So I'm going to say around 30, 35 grand, got nothing, absolutely nothing, 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 nothing in a year. Matter of fact, it got worse. Then when he transitioned to me, he was trying to do it like nice, right? But he was still kind of sneaky about it because he was still getting readings from her, kind of like still dabbling with both of us because he was afraid to say anything. Like, I don't know, he was afraid, I guess, of her. So he fucked up in that aspect. But when he finally, like, because she would always like threaten him, like, oh, I'm gonna quit this case and blah blah blah, and then he'd always beg her not to, and then feed her money. Never do that. So now she got it in her head, like, oh, all I gotta do is threaten to stop his case and he'll pay me money. So when he didn't do that this last time, he was like, oh, I'll just wait till she threatens to not do the work anymore, and then I'll just say okay. Well, when she did that, he's like, you know what? Yeah, just leave it to the universe. And she went batshit crazy. Like at first she was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So she disappeared for a while, and then like a week later, she's like, I just want to know where to send like the rest of this spell stuff. And she's like, should I just throw it out or what? And there was no spell stuff. She never fucking did any work. The whole time, like, she told him she was going to send photos and all this stuff. She never did. So it's one thing if you tell somebody up front, like, this is how I do my work, if you get this kind of work, you're not going to get photos. If you want photos, you get like I do. But she said she was going to give him photos. She never did. So now you're saying you're sending him stuff. So he's like, you could just throw it out or whatever. And so she didn't respond. And then she messaged back like, you know what? Like, my kid was in the hospital and I worked 18-hour days for you. And I didn't even go visit my kid in the hospital and blah, blah, blah. And like going off and then just going on and on. And he's like, she goes, I should, what did she say? I should, do what the very people you trust said I should do and tell your target, blah, blah, blah. Making it sound like I told her to do that because I had a conversation with her. It was a long story to find out if he was still working with the two of us. Anyway, so he was like, what do I do to make this right? Trying to kiss her ass because he was like terrified. And she goes, oh, well, if you're asking for a number, $7,000. So I told him, I was like, don't fucking pay that money. This is extortion. This is blackmail. Do not, if you pay this money, she's going to keep coming back. Don't do it. He didn't listen. What did he do? He paid it. Well, guess what she did? About 2 weeks later, a week later, came back with some other bullshit, with a fake message. What is this? What is this? We'll call him Steve. What is this, Steve? And it was a fake message saying, Steve is not your friend and he was using you. And she obviously sent it to herself. Like, who else? Who else would, it was crazy. So it was like just an excuse to scare him and try to extort him for more money. And of course that's what it was. She wanted more money. And I was like, you see, I was like, do not, this is going to be a vicious cycle. Tell whoever she wants and that you don't give a fuck, shove it up her fucking ass. And guess what? She already told the target when he paid her the first time. She already ratted him out. She had already contacted the target. And I told him that. I said, I have a feeling she already told your target. So she blackmailed him with information that she already snitched on. When you tell something, exactly. But I told him. He didn't. So anyway, So at that point, I thought that was fucked up, and I should have just probably just minded my business and said that's his problem. But I was personally offended because I was like, bitch, now you're fucking with my case. You're fucking with. I felt like disrespected. Not only did I feel bad for him and how she exploited him, but I felt disrespected because that's my client. You knew he was my client and you fucking still did that shit. And you were projecting your shady shit on me. Because, real funny, he told me after the fact that she was trying to put all these doubts and thoughts in his head about me, basically projecting all the shit she was doing onto me. And I'm like, she was like saying stuff like, oh, she's gonna keep asking you for more money. She's not gonna fix your thing. She's gonna keep asking you for more money. And he goes, well, actually, she's never asked me for more money. You're the one that's always asking me for more money. So everything like she was trying to make him think about me, it was her. So anyway, when I found all that out, then I hit her up in her DMs. I said, oh, what'd you say about me, bitch? And then we went back and forth. I called her on Instagram. I said, I don't do this back and forth shit. I'm like, I shut the fuck up and take it to the altar. She's like, oh, if you're so big and bad, bitch. She goes, you ain't nothing but she goes, you ain't nothing. What does she call me? A junkie or? No, she goes, you ain't nothing but a drug addict, bitch. She goes, you ain't nothing but a drug addict. I said, oh, that's real funny coming from a bitch that was in prison for methamphetamine, ho. I was like, I used to serve bitches like you. I was a hood ass bitch back in the day. But anyway, I said, oh, I'm nothing but a drug addict. I said, why? Oh, because I was addicted to. I said, what? You're taking shit that I put out in the public, my addiction to pain pills that I was prescribed by a doctor. I said, okay, bitch. I said, because you thought meth was an addiction? I said, I wouldn't know about that. I do know when I was in rehab with those motherfuckers, they weren't nearly as sick as I was. But you're going to find out, bitch. So I said, I'm not going to sit here. I'll show you more than I said. I could show you more than I'll tell you. I'm not going to do this whole back and forth shit. So I fucked her ass up so fucking bad. So bad. This bitch has the audacity to talk to you. Oh, yeah. But she ended up breaking 8 of her ribs. She went low and I took her to hell. Yep, she ended up, and Ask Monica showed her the spell. I showed Bridge the spell. It was rib cage candle, spine candle. I used heart, kidney, brain. Ended up addicted to opiates. I swear on my mother's grave, God strike me dead if I'm lying. On my mother's soul, she broke her 8 ribs according to her post, fractured her spine, needed spinal surgery, was damn near in a wheelchair. Daughter apparently ran away with some fucking old man. Husband divorced her. Ended up on opiates because she was bitching online about how her doctors don't give her enough opioids. And you could tell in her videos she was high as fuck. I could tell that look from a mile away. And all this within the year. Hooked on pills. You saw that, Val. Hooked, like, and it seemed like she was just putting her business out there. I was so shocked. Because I'm like, does this bitch not even realize? It's like she didn't even realize where it was coming from. It was so, Bridge, remember that? Shireen's telling the truth. It was brutal. Justice there. Thank God. I'm so glad I showed my girls this shit. I showed you guys. I showed my boy Millette. I showed Rowan. I made sure I had plenty of witnesses. Okay. Shireen, your magic is powerful as fuck. Like so powerful when you bless and enchant. I couldn't and wouldn't dare imagine getting on your bad side, baby. These hoes crazy for messing with you. CB, I love you, boo. Damn, I would love to see. And that's the thing. Usually when you curse somebody, I normally don't even check. People were sending me the screenshots because they knew, because I let it be known. I'm the type of bitch, I'll let it be known because I know you're not going to be able to stop me. That's my favorite thing to do. If I have a beef with somebody, my favorite thing to do is to show them what I'm doing to them because I know you're not going to be able to stop me. Most people don't recommend that because, then they could try to protect themselves. But me, I'm so confident that you're not going to be able to protect yourself that I love showing it to you. So normally I don't even check because there's no point. Most people don't put their business out there like that. But people were sending me shit. And it's better when you curse somebody, it's so much better. Or in any type of work on somebody else, it's so much better not to even check for them, not to even look for it. Not because if you keep checking, oh, what's going on, it like puts like a block. But you just set it and forget it. You don't go like stalking and looking. I didn't even look for it. It came to me. And I was so shocked myself because I'm like, especially her being a practitioner and a Santa devotee. And I usually wouldn't go after another Santa devotee because technically we're like sisters under Santa. But she deserved it. And I told Santa, I'll never forget, I said, Santa, I'm not asking you to hurt one of your children. I would never do that. I said, I don't know the extent of your relationship, and that's not my business. I'm not asking you to hurt your own child. All I'm asking you, I'm like, she did this, she did this, she did this. She made fun of my recovery. She made fun of my struggles with prescription pills that I was prescribed. That's not, I mean, I was a young 20-something-year-old, like, lied to by doctors. She made fun of that. I was like, all I'm asking you to do is step aside and let me do what I do. And she did. She let me tear her ass up. So, but usually people, especially that do spell work, they will go out of their way to make it like their life is hunky dory. I know I sure as fuck would. I would never. Like, yeah, Rocco's sick. That's life. Like, if you're gonna take credit for a 15-year-old dog with a fucking heart problem that should have been dead years ago, then you're just fucking stupid. Lives. But I would never share shit like that, especially knowing somebody said that they were gonna fucking hex me. But in my case, if somebody hexes me, they're hexing themselves essentially. They're doing the work for me. But anyway, I got off on a tangent here. Point being, my whole point is I started with showing you guys how to do a offering, a cigar offering. Talked about how to curse somebody with the cigar, talked about how to bring them towards you with the cigar. I do have a separate video on that. Just search Arabian Conjure cigarette spell or cigar spell, one of those two. We're in a new year, technically. Thank you, Habibti, sending you super chat. Oh no. With my last video, I know. No, Habibti, why'd you do that? How do I send this back? I don't want you to send me your last few bucks. Can I send this back to you? Habibti, why'd you do that? I love you. Thank you. Don't ever do that, girl. Jesus, I'm gone out of here. Thanks, babe. You don't have to do that, boo. Love you. Don't ever do that, especially if it's your last. What people consider manifested, I think, is a little bit of a reach. Like some people, like this situation I was telling you about, she literally didn't consider all of that a manifestation. And you'd be surprised how many people are like that. You have to literally like put the mirror up to them and show them all of this happened. How are you saying you're not manifested? You've done so much for me. Love you. Oh, but you're a bot. All of you guys are bots, by the way. Yes, please like this video. It's too long. Every time I go live, it takes too long. I gotta get off here. It's late as fuck. I wouldn't. You guys never see me on live any earlier than like 2, 3 a.m. or whatever. But my point is, you have to have like think before you say something stupid that'll piss the spirits off. If you really think that a man taking you out, claiming you to his friends, going all out on your birthday, decorating hotel rooms for you, buying you your favorite name brand pocketbooks and clothes and this and that is not a manifestation. You shouldn't even have been in a hotel room with him to begin with, because you know the rules. You know, even like job situation, like prosperity work, you know, oh, I got a new job. I'll never forget, this woman posted that she did Crown of Success and prosperity work, right? She got the promotion, but not because of my work. She would have got it anyway. And she was upset that I took credit for it. So if you were going to get it anyway, and it wasn't a manifestation from my work, why did you even get the work to begin with? That doesn't make fucking sense. Why would you even pay for the work? I mean, it's just beyond craziness. It's just beyond. So many, I could tell you, I can go on and on, but it seems like the harder you work for people, the nicer you are. Like, I don't even have time to do what I would like to do on this channel because I'm so busy. But the people that do the fuck shit, threaten you, you know, ignore you, don't have an assistant, don't respond to you, charge you for every little fucking fart. They get respect. Is it because people are too afraid or what? Because people should damn sure be afraid of me. I'm just nice. But there's another side to that coin. Good night, Rex. I don't know what it is. Do I have like pussy on my forehead? Like, I don't understand. People getting work from you and have no idea how lucky they are. Clearly not. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. We're entering a new year. Technically, we've entered it yesterday. So I'm going to recommend sometime today, if you can, do an egg cleanse. Nah, she's expecting her to throw rocks at her window and climb up to her room and ask for her hand. I love my people. You guys are smart asses just like me. I fucking love it. I'm telling you, like fucking Rapunzel, fucking throw your hair down out of the window and climb up my hair. Fucking Sleeping Beauty, fucking kiss me out of my death. Like, what the fuck? Fucking fairy tale. Anyway, we have officially left the year of the snake. We're now in the new lunar year, which I usually would have done a ritual for that. But with the higher tier New Year ritual, I had to do something for them, so I couldn't do both. So I'm just telling you, for you guys, now that we've entered a new year, cleanse yourself. Go on my channel if you don't know how to do that. And you guys don't have to be clients, all of you. Do Arabian Conjure Egg Cleanse, search for that video and follow it to the best of your ability. Or if you don't like how I do it, you could just search Egg Cleanse on YouTube. Do that. Follow it with a cleansing bath. And you could either use, if you have any of my cleansing baths, any of them, pretty much all of my cleansing baths are really good for cleansing negative energy. Some are more geared for prosperity, some are more geared for love or whatever, but they're all good for like cleansing essentially. The cleansing and protection is the best for cleansing and protection, obviously, but I like to mix a little bit of each. But even if you don't have like one of mine, you could use another cleansing bath that you get from somewhere else. You can make your own with just like sea salt or even Epsom salt. I like to put a little mix of Epsom salt and sea salt. Turmeric. Turmeric is like amazing. If I always say if I had to go to an island, a desert island, and it could only bring one like herb spice, it would be turmeric, because it's good for everything. It's good for cleansing, it's good for protection, it's good for blessing, prosperity, it's good for love, commitment, it's good for a lot. So turmeric, cinnamon, and you guys should have all these things in your kitchen. Apple pie spice is really good, or pumpkin pie spice, which is basically just a mixture of cinnamon, allspice, ginger, and clove, just in one. That's like I always say it's like a prosperity mix in a bottle. Either or. I think the only difference between ginger and pumpkin, pumpkin and apple, is the ginger. One of them has ginger. I think it's the pumpkin one. But either way, apple pie spice or pumpkin pie spice, if you don't have that, you could just mix the allspice and all that other stuff. Nutmeg is really good, especially for good luck. And you don't have to put all of these things, just whichever of them that you have. Mint, if you have mint, or even if you have the mint tea packets, you can like rip it open and put that in it. If you can get your hands on some holy oil, they usually have them at the Orthodox and Catholic churches. You can put some holy oil, or you can just use holy water and like make it like a liquid bath. Or you can like take the dry ingredients and then add either like coconut oil. I like coconut oil because it's like thicker. You could use shea butter, olive oil, or whatever, and like make it into like a scrub and just like put it on your body and your hair. Let it after you've like washed your hair, condition, whatever, and then rub it throughout your hair, the back of your neck, on your body. Let it sit for a minute and then rinse. But if you have time to do like a whole like bath where you soak, do that, because if you can actually like soak your body for a good like 7 minutes at least, it's honestly, it works best. But if you don't, some people don't have a tub, so you can just turn it into a scrub by mixing those ingredients with like a thick oil, like coconut oil, shea butter, even olive oil, and just like rub it on. And you could put in your hair, like I said, just let it sit and make sure you get the back of your neck. But do that after you've done that. So you're going to do the egg cleanse first, naked, right before you get in the shower. You'll have your mix ready, your cleansing bath mix or whatever you use. And then you're either going to put it in the tub, or you're going to, so if you do the bath, you get yourself in the bath, dunk your head if you can. If you can't, just wait until you're able to wash your hair, and then soak for a minute, and then take a regular shower like you normally would. And then when you take the regular shower, take more of the mix and wipe it on you, and then like let it sit for a minute, rinse off. If you don't do the bath and you choose to do the shower, do the egg cleanse first, and then take the mix into the shower, wash your hair and your body like you normally would, and then take the mix, put it in your hair, the back of your neck, your back really good. Negative energy, catches your back first. Do head to toe, bottom of your feet, get your hands, let it sit for a minute, and then rinse it off. You can repeat if you want, but the point is, thank you, Maria Yolanda AAA. Mwah. I just woke up, caught your live. It really lifted my energy. Your voice is so calming. I'm having a good day for sure. Sending love from France. Thank you, Habibti. Damn, how do I say thank you in French again? How do you say thank you in French? I forget. Brain fart. Thanks. No, how do you say is it not s'il vous plaît, that's please. I used to know a little bit of French. Thank you very much. I was trying to say it in French, but I forget. Bonjour. Thank you. S'il vous plaît. Thank you, Habibti. So yeah, the point is you cleanse the bad energy. When you cleanse negativity, you kind of leave a void. So the point of using like the sweet herbs is to replace the void, the negative energy, with positive energy. You always want to do that with the cleanse. When you remove the bad, you replace it with the good. Will you go? Will you go dwarf toss it with me? What the fuck? Actually, I was genuinely surprised with the lack of trolls this evening. And then you guys clean your house, make sure there's not a lot of physical clutter, spiritual clutter. Try to, spiritually cleanse your home. This is a new lunar year. You always know the new lunar year because obviously the Chinese New Year and Ramadan always starts on the Lunar New Year. So, yeah. So anyway, how's my dog? Alhamdulillah, he is laying down, sleeping. He's resting. I had to take him to the vet. So I have to take him every so often, but alhamdulillah. Khamsa to all the haters. Anybody who would like send bad energy to an innocent animal deserves their fucking head cut off. Sometimes I just buy ginger beer and pour it over my head. That's really perfect, and bless it. I love ginger beer for that. I use ginger beer like in prosperity stuff all the time. It's really good. And even in love stuff, it's good to like heat things up. And never, some people put chamomile in their prosperity. Never. Chamomile is, think about what it does. It's a calming. Never understood why the animals catch strays. People just throw it anything. It's fucking disgusting. Do you think I would have friends if I didn't call everyone? What are we, children? I know, Jay, I need to just not read. You block somebody, I need to just fucking not read what they put and just learn my lesson. But I can't help it. Hey, Ace of... Yeah, people that throw at animals and children and things like that because you have a beef with the enemy. Now that bitch that I told you about, the daughter that ran off with somebody, she was grown. She was an adult. So, and I didn't specifically, involve anybody but her. But magic takes the route of least resistance. But I would never ever hurt someone's pet or their child. They're minor children. Like they're, and I really wouldn't fuck with their family. Period. They'd have to try to fuck with my family. Then it's on and popping. But as long as they keep families out of it, I'll keep families out of it. But oh, the tenant, he moved out. Um, my lawyer served him in the psych ward, which is excellent service, by the way. I got to make him a video and thank him for his superb service. But he said that, how's my work recently? What do you mean? How so? I'm still behind on readings like a motherfucker. My work, I'm always on time. It's my readings that I told Gabby, I was like, I don't even know if I want to. Once I'm like finished, and I'm gonna take a break from readings for a long time because they, no matter what I do, they take a long time. And it's my fault too, because I'm long-winded. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take a break from readings for a long fucking time. But I'm exhausted. I've been working like nonstop. I get a few hours sleep. It's bad. Actually, Monday was President's Day. I slept all fucking day. I was so tired. So tired. I slept so late. I just had to. My body needed it. But no, alhamdulillah, I can't complain. I feel bad complaining because so many people are struggling, like, just in the world. But, so I shouldn't complain. I'm thankful all my clients are, like, very patient because they know I give them a lot of, like, how could you complain when you know your reading is supposed to be an hour and I give you like 3 always. So, but some people take advantage of that. But whatever. I guess at some point I have to take responsibility too. Oh, thank you, chamomile squirrel. I can't keep a thought. With live, it's hard to keep a train of thought because you're reading what people say, so it's quick to like veer off. But chamomile is like, think about when you work with herbs, right? The best way I can teach you guys what the herb or the spice does in the physical world is what it's good for in the spiritual realm, right? So, for example, chamomile, what does it do? What does chamomile do? Class, you guys can answer, it's not rhetorical. Calms the body and mind. Exactly. Calms. Sleepy. Exactly. Lucy. Sorry. Somebody texted me something concerning Habibti. Luz, I saw your message. I'm gonna light a candle for her, okay? Sorry, something caught me off guard. An emergency. So it calms you, right? So it slows your mind down. It slows things. So why would you put chamomile in your money work? Because it's going to slow it down, right? No, not you, Habibti. Someone else did. Wait, no, you're not the. No, somebody texted me just now. Not you, Mistress Morticia. So, um, love to. I asked the spirit to let me have $200 while working, and guess what? I got the amount. I'm in shock. Good. Good. See. So, so okay. So if you ever have a question about what you should put in an oil, what you should put in a spell, right? First of all, you put what you feel. Oh, some people put chamomile in money work. I've never understood it, but it didn't feel right to me because logically, what I know, how I was taught is what the herb does medicinally or in the physical world, or the taste is what it does in the spiritual realm. So, for example, the chamomile calms, slows, relaxes. So you can use it to like calm someone's mind, help someone who's having problems sleeping, healing. It's good for healing work. It's good for anxiety. It's good for just calming any situation, like a volatile situation. So for love, if two people are really like angry all the time, you can use it to calm them down. Cinnamon, right? It's sweet. It has a sweet taste. So it's the sweet in your pocket, sweet in your love life, sweet, sensually, make more passion, because it's also like it's sweet, but it's spicy. So it adds that bit of heat. So that's why it's good for prosperity. It's good for protection. Cinnamon's very volatile. It's very volatile, versatile too. So you can use it for blockbuster, road opening, prosperity, passion, love. Cinnamon's great for a lot of things, but you can't really use it in curse work, right? Some people I've seen using curse work, using crystals in curse work, don't understand that, don't get the logic of it. Crystals are high vibration, pieces of earth. They're high vibrational rock formations. So when you're doing lower vibrational work, I don't, unless you hold, now I understand to use it like to keep on your person to protect you from the negative energy you're putting out. But I've actually seen people use crystals in their work, in their curse work. There's one that you can, and that's sapphire with certain signs, because sapphire, in I believe it's Hindu culture, or some like South Asian cultures, where sapphire can bring bad luck to certain signs, but it's not all signs that, like, even some certain signs shouldn't wear sapphire, they say. So you can use sapphire to curse some signs, but I wouldn't even really do that. There's also another stone that they say is like really like topsy-turvy your whole life, but ultimately it brings you blessings. What is that stone? Is it Malik? Not Malik. Is it Malik? I forget what it's called. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like not calcite. Malik. It's a crystal. They say moldavite. That's it. Moldavite. They say moldavite is very like can be very dangerous in terms of like flipping your life upside down. But like once it flips your life upside down, it can bring you blessings. So maybe moldavite you can do it, but personally for me, crystal stones, things like that, unless you're getting a rock from like a mental institution, a prison, a negative place, a hospital where people die, a cemetery, things like that. I wouldn't use crystals in curse work, only like in positive work. That's just my opinion. What else? Church dirt. Okay, I love using holy dirt, church dirt. You can use church dirt. Like I get mine specifically from the Middle East, from Jerusalem, Nazareth, and Bethlehem. Luckily, I have family in all of those places. So I get mine from Knesset Yama, which is the Resurrection Church that's in Jerusalem, in the Basilica Church. That's where it's in Nazareth. That's where Mary got told by the archangels that she was pregnant. And they actually have like where Mary and Joseph lived. They have their like original house, and they have like I posted on my Instagram. They have like I don't know how to explain it, like this barrier though, kind of blocking it, but it's like literally where Mary and Joseph used to live. Like it's the original. It's so cool. But I got dirt from the Rose Garden in the Basilica Church, and then the one in Bethlehem where Jesus was born. I got dirt from there. So you can use that for protection. I used it in road opening, and I used that like in the group ritual that I did. I can't wait till you guys see what I did. I'm such a fucking genius. But like with road opening, you can like use church dirt or any dirt really, but you can use church dirt or crossroads dirt even. But like for like opening the roads and like create like a little like if you put a candle, create like a little path. You could use church dirt for wedding, like for marriage work, because people get married in churches. What else? There's so much shit I could teach you. But think about like what things are good for in the physical world or what we do, like what happens in churches. You can use church dirt in negative things too, because why? Because people also have funerals, but you'd have to mix it with like sulfur and negative things. There's also a spell where people use holy water and mix it with sulfur and turn it into like a war water, like a hell water. So you can actually turn holy water into a dark arts water by adding certain things to it. How do you work with multiple gods and goddesses and still work with God in your belief system? How do you reconcile that in terms of like the commandments? I struggle with it, but I have many spirits. So with me personally, because I come from, my family is Palestinian, right? And pretty much like, I don't know what Christian religion you come from, but we're Greek Orthodox. And why Greek instead of Coptic? I always wondered that, but I think it's because the Greeks invaded Jerusalem, you know, thousands of years ago. But the only difference between Greek and Roman Orthodox and whatever is just, and Coptic is one prays in Greek, one prays in Arabic, one prays it. So it's just what they pray in Russian Orthodox, but the Orthodox part is the same. So, like with the Catholics and the Orthodox, their whole religion, like if you think about the commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. One of the commandments is like thou shalt not worship any false idols, like any idols. But if you think about it, the Catholic Church, we're constantly, or Catholic and Orthodox, constantly, praying through the saints, praying through Mother Mary, praying through St. George, even writing petitions, and putting it in a box under, like there's a church where they have different saints, and you can put a petition in, like for St. Jude, in that box. And it's literally called a petition. You light a candle and you put your intention. What is that? It's a spell. In the Greek Orthodox Church, I don't know about Catholics, but in the Greek Orthodox Church is the same thing with the candles. But like in Saint Charbel's church, we literally have a wall, and we write a petition and we put it in the wall in Saint Charbel's church and light a candle. Same kind of thing, intention, right? And with the Greek Orthodox Church, it's very ritualistic. So like, even like with, a funeral, for example, they have and I think in the Catholic Church too, but they have like this long kind of incense burner, and it's got like it's like on a chain, and it has bells on it. And they put the bachur, the frankincense and myrrh, and juniper leaf, and they burn it. And as they burn it, they swing it, and it like rings the bells, and it's burning the frankincense and myrrh and the juniper leaf to like clear any evil spirits. And like we also celebrate Eid al-Barbara, which is St. Barbara's holiday, where we go to the cemetery and we leave chocolate on the cemeteries. So it's like an offering to, it's for St. Barbara, but also for the spirits of the dead. So like there's a lot of traditions like in my country with the church, especially the Orthodox Church. And it's, like I always talk about how they sell prosperity oil in the church, and it's literally holy oil with cinnamon in it for prosperity. You anoint your hands, you put it on your wallet, you put it on the bills. The priest, so I got it from the Orthodox Church, evil eye bracelets. So I think it's cultural, to be honest, because my grandmother, she was very into the Orthodox Church, and she loved St. George, St. Charbel, like all the saints, St. Michael, St. Raphael. But she also was a Ruhaniya, and she also knew the Quran, and she also knew how to work with jinn, and she would tie my father's hair, and we found spellwork in her closet, and it was Islamic magic. It was sihr. Well, Islamic, but you can use any of the holy books, but this particular one was definitely Islamic. But I think it's a matter of cultural differences, I think. And like I always compare this, but in Romania, You know, those witches in Romania, they always do stories about them and stuff like that. That's Rocco. You okay, Habibi? You okay, Bubba? Bismillah, Habibi, Bismillah. الله يعطيك العافية، الله البركة إن شاء الله. الله يعطيك العافية الأول بركة إن شاء الله يا رب. حبيبي حبيبي. Down, حبيبي. You okay? You okay? جنس الله معك حبيبي. كن معك حبيبي. خلي ارتاح، خلي هذا خلي يتنفس بالسلام، خلي ينام بالسلام، خلي يرتاح. Why'd you wake him up, babe? But the Romanian witches, they do stories on all the time. They're Orthodox, so I think it's just a matter of cultural. The Polish Orthodox witches. So I don't know. I kind of reconcile it in the sense of Christianity is only 2,000 years old. Islam's only 1,400 years old. Judaism is between, I think, 4,000 years old or so, maybe a little more. Hinduism, I think, is 6,000 plus years old. They believe in many gods and goddesses. So I believe that every religion, every belief system has truth to it. That's how I reconcile it. I don't just believe there's like, I believe there's an almighty, like, source, but I believe that there are many deities, and some of them are the same, like in different, yeah. I think it's called not omnism. There's a different term for it where, like in Judaism, they're not polytheistic. They're monotheistic, but there's also a belief where they believe in other gods, just not for them. There's a name for that. I just forget. I'm an Orthodox witch too. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of Orthodox witches, like in the Levant, in Levant is Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, and Palestine. There's Orthodox witches in Poland and Romania and Russia and Albania. So it's a common thing. But with the Jews, they believe in one almighty God, right? They believe in Yahweh. But they believe that there are other gods, but that just not for them. Does that make sense? There's a name for that. I can't remember right now what that, but look it up, what that's called. It's a specific, it's not polytheistic, it's some other name, but it's not, it's monotheism, but monotheist, I believe, technically, is where you believe in only one God. You don't believe in anything else. And Jews don't necessarily believe that other gods don't exist. They just don't worship any God but the one. But monotheists, like true monotheistic people, don't believe that there's anything but one God, if that makes sense. So, but there's a name for it, and I can't remember. If you look it up. Did I hear about the Epstein files? Girl. Disgusting, sick. pathetic. Like, the way that Pam Bondi bitch, she has such a slappable face. Allah, Allah, Habibi, Allah, Allah. Sadie, go to bed. You're making Rocco nervous. Go, come on, go to bed. It's bedtime. It's late. Go to bed. Babe, come to bed because Sadie, as long as we're up and about, she wants to be up and about. Rocco needs to sleep comfortable. Go to bed, Sadie, go. You want to sleep on the couch, Habibi? They're disgusting, disgusting. And the way they're trying to cover it up and how she like deflects, how they'll ask specific question and then she straight up deflects and brings up some other shit that's just totally like has nothing to do with the fucking question. It's like, how did she get away with that? Allah tika saha wal uwa inshallah ya Rab. جنة سلام تعال مسلم كن معراكم مسلم تعال وتعالي تعال خلي ارتاح خلي اتنفس تعال خلي قلب الدق القوة خلي قلبه يكون قوي خلي قلبه يكون قوي إن شاء الله ارتاح 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 حبيبي ارتاح Anyway, I gotta let him go to bed. But they were worshiping Baal and making sacrifice to very dark. Oh yeah. Monolatry, that might be it. That sounds familiar. But the Pam Bondi shit, how the fuck did she get away with, the only reason she could get away with talking to those Congress, did you guys watch that? Did you watch any part of that whole Congress hearing with Pam Bondi and how the Democrats ripped her to shreds? Yeah, go pee-pee, Rocco. Did you? But it was so blatant. I've never seen something so just blatantly just in our faces, like basically like, fuck you, I'm not answering these questions and I know I'm not going to get in trouble because Daddy Trump is going to make sure that I don't get in trouble because I'm kissing his ass. And it's like she knew she could. I've never seen a Congress hearing where somebody was so disrespectful to the Congress members, and like she literally called one of them a washed up failed lawyer, like loser. 3 million files and only a fraction of what they have. And and Trump was mentioned 38,000 times. And one of the congressmen of Florida said that he was mentioned more times in the Epstein files than God was mentioned in the Bible. And he was mentioned more times in the Epstein files than Harry Potter was in all 7 of the Harry Potter books. That's crazy. And the stories, like there was this young girl, a young blonde girl at the time, blue-eyed blonde. What was her name? There were so many, but there was one in particular that said that he would sit in the corner while the orgies were going on, and he would like only watch because he was kind of like a germaphobe. Ramsey, yes. And he would make her put on a glove to, and she was only 13 years old. And he told her that he wanted her to wear a blonde wig because she reminded him of his daughter. and that like turned him on. And I heard the recording. I can tell when somebody's lying. Like, I'm very good at reading people's body language. I just can, like, if you ask any of my clients, like, when sometimes I'll have them like go over text messages with me and stuff, and I'll break down, like, I can read somebody's message and just break down why they're saying something, what they're trying, what reaction they're trying to get, like, just read through the manipulation, right? I don't know, I just always been able to see through people's bullshit my whole life. And or like if somebody's like, I can tell if I'm like a human drug detector. Like, I can look at anybody. I don't give a fuck how good they think they're hiding it. I can look at anybody, tell you what drug they're on, and like if they took a lot of it, I can't tell you exactly, one pill, two pill, three pill, but I could say that they either took it like in the last few hours or they took it last night and they still have a hangover, whatever. Ask Justin, right, babe? Babe. Oh, he's got the ear pods in his ears. He can't hear me. He calls me a human drug test. I can look at people and tell what drug they're on, if it's alcohol, if it's a pill, if it's coke, if it's meth, if it's crack, if it's I could just look at somebody and tell. But I can tell when somebody's lying. And even though I couldn't see her, I could only hear her. The way what drug was Bonnie? That bitch is just on fucking the drug of getting smoke blown up her ass by Trump, and basically getting gassed up by Trump and all his little fucking affiliates, basically telling her, like, you're going to go in there and make Trump look good and deflect and don't answer anything and avoid all the questions, so you're not. I could just tell they basically coached her and said, if they ask you direct questions about Trump or about this, don't answer direct questions so that they can't come back and get you. You could tell, like, she purposely deflected so that she didn't technically perjure herself, except for once when that guy from California, the Asian congressman from California, called her out, and he's like, I think you just perjured yourself, because she said that there was no credible, but she used the term credible. There's no credible evidence that Trump committed any crimes, right? Credible. But credible is subjective. So she used that term purposely, because if it came back to bite her in the ass later, she could always say, I didn't believe, in my opinion, that wasn't credible. So they can't really technically nail her. So that's the drug she was on, basically being gassed up by Trump and all his little thugs, saying, just make me look, just deflect as much as possible, don't answer straight, and don't worry, they can't touch you. I'm the president of the United States. Nothing's gonna happen. You can act a whole fool in there and you're gonna be fine. Because the type of confidence that she had to have, cockiness, to be so disrespectful and to tell Congress people, oh, you're not gonna tell me to do anything. You're not, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It was a complete fucking Ozempic. That's hilarious. It was a complete circus. It was so embarrassing. But you could tell, like, she went in there with the full confidence that they couldn't do shit to her, as long as she didn't answer a direct question where they can get her for perjury later. So I honestly feel like Trump is going to try to pull a dictatorship, because it's a cult, basically. I think they all know something we don't. I think that the man is going to do everything to stay in power. I heard he's already trying to, like, run for 2028. That's like he's literally changing the Constitution. So, anyway, but that girl, when I heard her talking about the story, I could just tell the details, like how detailed she was with everything that she was saying, and, you know, saying how, like, I just can't explain it. The way the inflection of her voice, the way you could hear, like, when she started to tell a story, like, you could tell that saying it out loud, how crazy it sounded now that she was repeating it. You could tell that I could just feel that she was not lying. It was too detailed. It was too, you could just feel her trauma. You could just feel how traumatic it was. And knowing his personality, knowing how you could watch Trump and you can tell, like, he's very easily manipulated. All somebody has to do is compliment him, make him feel powerful, make him feel like he's always right. And you got him. That's what he wants. Like the reporters, the ones that he answers their questions and doesn't disrespect them, they're the ones that kiss his ass. Like he thrives off power. He thrives off people, bowing down to him. Which is why it's so surprising. I feel those Bohemian Grove members are also all egotistical men. Exactly. He's very egotistical, and the fact that they talked about a limo driver that overheard a whole conversation that Trump he said he kept referring to a Jeff, and he was saying how he was like he was basically sexually assaulting some girl, and the limo driver said he was so mad he was going to pull over and beat Trump's ass, but he didn't. And then he ended up talking to the girl. The girl told him that she got raped by Trump and Epstein. And then, like, shortly after that, she was found shot in the head. That Virginia Dufresne lady, how she came out, all of a sudden she was suicidal. She killed herself. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. I mean, I think, like, it goes so far beyond. I think part of why, like, they're trying to keep it so secret is not just, of course, protecting Trump's pedophile ass and everything, but I think it goes so deep that our realities will, like, I don't think our brains can literally fathom how dark and how deep it goes. Well, we will lose I think it'll be chaos, because I think once it comes out, the full extent of this shit, nobody's gonna trust the justice. Like, how could we? How could we? Like, the trafficking of children, just everything. Like, this world is so fucked and corrupt at this point. I don't know. I don't know. And, like, now, like, with Gaza, and they're still killing people. They're annexing parts of the West Bank. Hi, baby. Come here. Come on, mama. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. They're taking parts of the West Bank. They're outside. They're telling people take the money and leave, or else they're making their lives hell. I mean, it's just fucking. I think a big ass goddamn asteroid needs to just hit this fucking earth. And honestly, the Quran, the Bible, it talks about all of this in the end, really. It talks about all of this happening. It calls it. In the Quran, it talks about how the nation of Ben Israel, like 2 major times, where the first time they get exiled, the second time is basically like what's happening now, that they get so arrogant that basically when they get, like they got another chance, but they get so arrogant and corrupt that it says that even a tree, they won't even be able to hide behind a tree. Like the tree will tell God where they, like he's over here, like smite them. Like that's what they say. So I don't know. But anyway, it's 5 a.m. I can't believe this. I gotta go to bed. I have a fucking day from hell again tomorrow. Anyway, I love you. I'm sorry it's always so late by the time I can come on here, but I'm one person. 5 a.m. and your skin looks great. I love you guys. You guys are too kind. I look like doo-doo. Don't forget to do your cleansings. Cleanse your houses. And I love you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. As soon as I get caught up with these fucking readings, I promise you guys I will be making good content. I just need to get these fucking readings goddamn caught up. They're the only thing I'm fucking drowning in. I just drowning. If they could just be done in an hour like they're supposed to be, I would be fucking fine. But it's just never gonna happen. It won't happen ever. I accept it. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Toodles, bitch.